Calling the meeting to order. City of Laredo regular council meeting, council chambers, 1110 Houston Street, February 2nd, 2026. All stand, please, for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. And allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God. Moment of silence, please. Moment of silence, please. Thank you. You may be seated. Comments or recognitions? Recognition? Oh, yeah. Okay. Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes, Mayor. Honorable
Present.
Mayor Dr. Victor D. Trevino,
Present.
Honorable Mayor Pro Tem and Council Member for District 1, Gilbert Gonzalez. Honorable Council Member District 2, Ricardo Richie Rangel Jr. Here. Honorable Council Member District 3, Melissa Cigarroa. Here. Honorable Council Member District 4, Ricardo Rick Garza.
I'm here.
Honorable Council Member District 5, Ruben Gutierrez Jr.
Present.
Honorable Council Member District 6, Dr. Tyler King. Here. Honorable Council Member District 7, Vanessa Perez. Honorable Council Member District 8, Alisa Cigarroa.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you.
Mayor, motion for the approval of the minutes of January 20th, 2026.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. We're going to proceed with recognitions before we go on to citizens. Recognition of Councilwoman Vanessa Perez, present here.
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you. Recognitions. City of Laredo and Mayor Council recognize Karma Athletics, who completed on December 22nd, 2025 at the Red Line event in San Antonio, Texas, earning first place and the title of Grand National Championships in their division. The team took home 2 championship rings and 2 medals and championship jackets, making an outstanding achievement. Congratulations.
She's gonna say a few words.
Coach, where are you, Coach? Okay. The coach will say a couple of words or just on? No. There it is. Coach, congratulations. If you have a couple of words to say, please. Thank you.
So like, as they mentioned, we are from Karma Athletics. This is our level 2 team, and we're just recognizing our athletes for doing a wonderful job in San Antonio, Texas at Red Line competition, where they not only placed first in their division, but they got grand champions. And so, I mean, this is a competitive cheer team, and so every time they are able to go out there and do a wonderful performance, we just always want to recognize that, because aside from being an athlete, right, they also have their duties at home, they have their duties at school, and so we know that it takes a lot for them to, be successful in this sport. And yeah, we're just really proud, and we always want to recognize all the hard work that not only they put in, but parents as well, and all the dedication that they put into it. So thank you guys so much. And again, we are so proud of you guys for going out there and being able to execute a great performance. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Let's step back up for a picture.
Keep going. want to go back there, girls, for the picture? Okay, I'll go back there.
Just like you were here, but on that side, and the mayor's gonna be in the middle, okay? You can take a step back. A little further back.
Qué bello. Mayor, you want to go back to her, please?
Girls, go ahead and step back. Scoot over, scoot more.
Okay. Okay, I'll just hold it up.
On this side.
Right there. Just don't cover your face. There you go. Right here with Isabel.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more here. 1, 2, 3.
Right here with me. Thank you, parents. If you all want to take pictures, come up here and take pictures. Right there in the middle.
Okay, over here, ready?
Over here, girls.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Another 1, 2, 3.
And we're good, Mary.
I see that you all have your rings. Can you show me your rings,
Go like
please?
this, girls. Show your rings like this or like this, whichever one you feel comfortable.
One more here. 1, 2, and 3. Cheese. Perfect.
We're good.
Next recognition for Roberto Rodriguez. Upon his retirement from the Texas Department of Transportation, TxDOT, after 26 years of dedicated public service. Mr. Rodriguez is honored for his close collaboration with the City of Laredo and his professionalism, commitment, and significant contributions to transportation projects that have been benefit to our community. The City of Laredo extends our appreciation and wishes for his continued success on his retirement. Thank you very much. You want to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor. Really privileged, to receive this recognition from the city of Laredo. No doubt that time flies when you are doing something that you really like to do. I remember back at 27 years ago, we were all worried about finishing a roadway to connect World Trade Bridge. That was our biggest goal, $80 million. We were all happy about it. This past 3 years, as you all know, we reached about $1 billion in construction just in Webb County. Now, that's not a coincidence, that it's a lot of work from the, of course, Texas leadership and the partnership and the collaboration from the City of Laredo, City Engineering Department, the council members, always on the meetings, always supporting these projects, the county, the MPO, of course, the mayor. And now that we know, how things can get done in Laredo, let's keep going, let's keep the momentum going. Let's keep doing great things for Laredo. Thank you all for your support on all these projects, and hopefully, I'll be around. I'll be still working, and I will be committed to continue helping out the community. God bless.
Can I say a few words, Mayor? I just want to thank you for all your hard work as a representative of the MPO. I've worked with you for the past 5 years, and we've pushed a lot of projects. We've pushed for more funding, and a lot of the infrastructure that everybody uses, they don't realize all the hard work that goes behind it. So I am going to miss you. I'm going to miss your partnership, but I am going to keep your number, and I will be calling you. So
Thank you, Sharon.
enjoy your retirement, but just,
Go ahead.
Being part of the MPO, my first year, Rodriguez, you kept me up to speed, coming in, you kept me up to speed, so thank you so much for your service. Thank you for the great projects that we're doing right now. The overpasses, you're one, you spearheaded, everything, all of those projects, so for that, I thank you. Sal Laredo, thanks you for everything you've done for us. Hope your retirement is a success, if not, come back, and hopefully we can do better project, better, better the city. So thank you so much for this moment too, for us honoring you.
Mayor, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
And I also, Mr. Rodriguez, my time on the MPO, you were invaluable to the entire committee. Mr. Rodriguez was often tasked with explaining the projects to the rest of us. And your partnership and finding ways to partner with the city and leverage the resources that we have, and also looking for more money at the state of Texas at that level, it's deeply appreciated. And I hope you understand that your work will be visible in all of these projects that are going up now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more.
Right over here, Mayor, with that. One more. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Yeah, we're good, Mayor.
City of Laredo, Mayor and Council recognizes students from UISD and LISD who competed in the annual American Legion Oratorial Competition, hosted by the American Legion Arturo T. Benavides Memorial Post 59 in Laredo. High school students delivered prepared speeches on selected topics and about the U.S. Constitution, and scholarships were awarded. The program was led by District 23 Commander Jose M. Gomez. Congratulations.
Thank you. My name is Jose Gomez. I'm the 23rd District Commander for the 23rd District and Present Commander of American Legion Post 59, Arturo T. Benavides Memorial Post. I'm very proud to be here with Aaron and Jose. They were our two finalists, and Mayor, thank you for having us. And it's a very well-deserved recognition for these two young kids.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Winner, Aaron Morales for UIC. Jose Luis.
Where did you take it back there? Oh, okay.
He was over. No, okay.
We just take a picture back there.
Omar? Omar?
You want to go back there?
Yeah.
Can you all scoot over, Mayor? Scoot over right there. More, right there.
Right there.
You want him in this area?
Yes. Over here. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Right here.
Ready, 1, 2, 3. One more. Waiting for Dr. King. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Perfect, we're good. Yeah. Can you take these?
All right. We'll proceed with communications. Presentation by Mayor, providing general comments on city matters, upcoming initiatives, and other relevant updates for the city council and the public. I want to begin by thanking our city departments, especially the state of the city committee, for their extraordinary work in putting together successful State of the City. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive, and more importantly, it gave our community positive and, more importantly, a clear update on both the challenges this council has faced and the progress we have made over the past year. Among the highlights were a 4% reduction in our poverty rate, ranking number 1 as the safest city in Texas, ranking number 1 in affordability in Texas, once again ranking as the number 1 port in the Western Hemisphere, and major progress in addressing our aging water infrastructure with over 40,000 feet of pipe replaced. And in 2025, for the first time in more than 6 years, Laredo did not experience a boil water notice. This is no small achievement, and I do want to especially thank the utility department and its employees for their hard work and dedication to public health and reliability. And I know that we still have a lot of work to do, but this is a good start to our year. And looking toward the future, I want to address an issue I raised during the State of the City, one that I have been fighting for over 30 years in South Laredo, which is where the majority of the underserviced exists. And now we are at a crossroads when you're almost dead last when it comes to primary care physicians per capita of population in our county and country. The issue of medical underservice has plagued our city for far too long. This is also a monumental opportunity for the city and for those seeking to lead Webb County as the next county judge. Medical underservice is not a political talking point. It is a shared responsibility to our community, and we must explore meaningful solutions such as a hospital district or a county hospital to expand desperately needed service like pediatrics and specialty care. I have been asked by constituents why this discussion often centers around the county, and the answer is simple. We're not shifting responsibility. We are acknowledging the structure and the current law that exists. Under Article 9 of the Texas Constitution and Chapter 61 of the Texas Health and Safety Code, counties are explicitly asked with indigent care, health care, and are structurally organized to create tax-supported hospital districts. That does not mean that the city steps away. In fact, today residents who live outside the city limits already rely on our city health department for many services. But that alone is not enough to meet the scale of the needs. And as mayor, I'm the only official who can speak on behalf of the city as a whole. Let it be clear. If the county chooses to move forward, the city will meet you halfway. I'm pretty sure no one will object to this collaboration. And ultimately, we should put this question before the people and allow them to decide the future of health care in Laredo and Webb County. And before closing, I want to share a few announcements. Today, the city, through our health department, has launched the Healthier Texas Community Challenge, encouraging residents to track healthy activities through an app. The top 15 recipients will be recognized and awarded special prizes in celebration with their commitment to health and wellness. We also continue to promote active living as we're having our unique one-of-a-kind 1K binational kids race, a 5K, and a 10K that will cross our Columbia Solidarity bridges. This race will be on February 22nd at 8 a.m. And finally, I do want to thank our Parks and Recreation Department and volunteers for another successful race event at the airport this past weekend, with nearly 1,000 registered participants. An event that not only promotes health, but also improves our quality of life and community pride. Thank you. This is the work of a city moving forward, thoughtfully, responsibly, and together. This is the end of my communications. All right, we'll proceed. Go ahead.
May I just add one thing on your communication?
Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you very much for bringing up the hospital district item. I think it's, as you mentioned, it's very delicate because as a city, we don't want to look like we are telling the county what to do, but it is something that only the county can do. We're in this healthcare crisis together, obviously, both of us in primary care. We need 40 more of us in this county, not to mention all the other subspecialties that we're lacking. And you know, a hospital district is a way that counties like El Paso County, Bexar County, Corpus Christi County that I can't pronounce, and so many other counties in Texas benefit and create these wonderful health systems, you know, such like, you know, when you have the UT Health Science Center, obviously, and then El Paso has a medical school, a dental school. And they have a 70-year head start on us. Their hospital district started in the 1950s. The last hospital district to be created in Texas, I think, was 2004 with Tarrant County. So it's been a while since a new one's been created, and it's complicated. But yeah, Webb County and the candidates that are, you know, listening, you know, I just want to echo what you said about the city will stand ready to work together because healthcare affects all of us, whether you live in the city of Laredo, Webb County, or both. So yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, if I may, motion to approve appointments to commissions, boards, and committees, 7 through 11.
All right. Before we go there, on presentation of confirmation by City Council of,
Mayor, I asked, excuse me, I'm sorry, point of order.
Yes.
I asked to approve 7 through 11 only, so we can
All right.
bring up 6 because of discussion.
all right, okay. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Motion to bring up number 6 on appointments.
Councilmember Diaz?
Yes.
Should we bring up citizen comments first? And then proceed to a longer discussion so that the people who are waiting can,
You gotta see how many citizens comment.
We have 1 on number 6.
On number 6, we have one.
Mayor, somebody sent in, they tried to send in a written comment, but I actually have it, so I would read another comment on 6.
Okay. All right, let's see, number 6.
Mayor, there were 2 comment cards that were submitted for item number 6, Mayor.
All right. Yeah. All right, we'll do citizen comments on number 6.
Mayor, apologies, I received the citizen comments general before moving on to item number 6.
All right, was there a motion?
Just for the order of the agenda.
All right. Okay. How many do we have?
For number 6, that's the only one, sir.
Okay. Okay.
She wanted to bring
Councilmember
general.
Gutierrez, apologies,
She wanted to bring up general comments,
Right.
correct?
Okay, do you want to
These
get
are on item numbers.
if we can return to citizen comments on the agenda, yes, I'll move that we do that.
Okay, we'll do citizen comments in general.
These are numbered, sir. No, these are uncertain items. It's gonna be,
All right,
I guess we can ask them, they're gonna come up now or after?
we can do it now. All right, we'll proceed with citizen comments. Comments are to be orderly, respectful, non-derogatory, and no profanity. If you can abide by these, we will proceed with that.
If you want to ask them, if they want to speak on the item comes up now.
Yeah.
Because they're all alive.
All right. Juan Avila, do you want to speak on the item now or when the item comes up?
I'll speak now, Mayor.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Juan Avila. I'm a citizen here of Webb County. I'd like to say a couple of words. First of all, I'd like to thank our Laredo City Police Department. I know lately it's been getting crazy here. We just had a shooting. We just saw the Pro 8 News on it. You know, things are getting crazy around Laredo. We need to just get together and pray on it. But thanks to the Laredo City Police Department for their fine job that they're doing out there. I'd like to start off with saying on this appointment that it's presented before y'all of Mr. Javier Montemayor Jr. Mr. Montemayor has a long story, not only by himself, but with his family, especially his father. May he rest in peace. Como decimos los mexicanos, no hablo de su vida, menos de su muerte, but he was a fine man, an outstanding citizen. He was dedicated. He was for the citizens of Laredo. And that was puro corazón, like, you know, our county judge has that word, puro amor, puro corazón para el condado de Laredo. And I feel tonight that it's not a big thing to really, it's not a puzzle that you've got to be looking for the pieces. This piece is already put together because Mr. Montemayor has served and serves at the UISD board. He served as a family man. He serves as a man for Laredo. Why I say this? Well, not because he's a good friend, because he is, his brother, his dad, his family. I'm here because I think we are on the right track. Mr. Dominguez is making this recommendation to y'all. We already got an associate judge from the last presentation and appointments that we have. So I feel that we are on the right track and leading the municipal court on the right directions. We've been getting plenty of funds in. That's something to look at. We got two more courts in that building when other judges had been there and had not been expanded. So the recommendation that he's doing tonight is for y'all to really just approve it because he's already in play. He already serves the citizens. He already serves his community. And I think that the recommendation that they're doing tonight, it's for the right track. So please, don't think about it too much, because it is something for the good and the benefit of Laredo. And we are for Laredo. And that's the main category. Mayor, thank you so much. Council, thank you so much. And hopefully you will approve this appointment. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Jose Tellez on item number 6. Or now.
It's good to see that Mr. Avila and I go back many years. Sometimes we don't agree, sometimes we agree. And then with all the restrictions you put on what I can say, it cut my speech down considerably on what I can't say. But anyway, I'm here not because I have an interest in the horse that's being presented to the council. I'm here because I want to give you all a perspective that you all may not.
Name for the record, please.
Jose Salvador Tellez. I'm here because I want to make a comment about the appointment tonight. And I want to give you a little perspective. Some of you may know me, but then you don't know me. In the 90s, I was the Associate Municipal Court Judge from 1986 to 92. In the 90s, I was the City Attorney from 92, 93, and 94. Most recently, most of you remember me as the Elections Administrator, but I'm not here as an Elections Administrator. I'm here because when I was the Associate Municipal Court Judge, and then subsequently I was appointed City Attorney, I lobbied extensively. As a City Attorney, I was on one Charter Revision Committee as legal advisor to the Charter Revision Committee. Then I was appointed 3 times to the Charter Revision Committee to at least shepherd what has the municipal court turned out to be nowadays. I was the one, if I may say so humbly, that moved to make it a court of record. moved to make the judges attorneys because I felt that civilians should not be in judicial positions, either at the municipal court or even at the JP level. But that's another issue that's not before this court. My position was that the municipal court and the municipal court judges should be persons of high integrity and be able to hold the position without any recourse against them. What I don't like about the way this is happening is that I found out that there was an appointment scheduled for today, an informal chit-chat and an event that I was not supposed to be at. I'm not questioning Mr. Montemayor's qualifications. It's the lack of transparency that is being presented here today, and I'm going to tell you why. When I was the city attorney and I lobbied for the municipal court judges to be attorneys, we wanted to bifurcate the elected official from the appointed position. We didn't want the municipal court, associate municipal court judge's position to be a reward to anyone because there was a backroom deal made to put somebody there because there was an election going on, because there was other things going on. We wanted the municipal court judges to have integrity and independence from each other regardless of who recommended them. And I looked at your charter provision.
3 minutes, Mayor.
Well, may I ask that you have an extended time because of my previous experience?
Go ahead.
Okay, and I looked at your charter provision that deals with the appointment of associate municipal court judges. There is an inherent contradiction in that paragraph that says that the elected official shall make a recommendation. Then the next sentence says, city council by a vote of 6 members should confirm the appointment. And then the last sentence of that paragraph doesn't make sense. It uses the adjective verb appointment. This is not an appointment. We should not be allowing any elected official to give a dedazo like they do in Mexico to name his successor in whatever position. That position, the way, if you look at legislative history and you go back to my participation on the charter revision committees, the HR department was supposed to accept applications, screen them. The elected official is not supposed to be the one who announces the position, accepts the applications, and brings a recommendation to the council. The HR department is supposed to give the elected official 3 choices that he recommends from the 3 choices selected by the HR department because they have screened the people. I'm not critiquing Mr. Montemayor's qualifications. I just remind you that there needs to be transparency in the process of appointing an associate municipal court judge in light of everything that has happened in this community in the last 10 years. Okay? And I'm asking you that this particular item should be referred to HR, go through a screening process, and if Mr. Montemayor is one of the top 3 and Mr. Dominguez wants to recommend them to the council, so be it. But go through a transparency process where people are screened and they are vetted for you. Don't allow an elected official to tell you who he wants to, because that smacks of old-time politics. I was here when we were transitioning from, I hate to use these words because I was brought here by someone that was part of the Partido Viejo, and then I transitioned to be part of what I used to call the New Vendidos, but that's another issue. But nonetheless, we cannot allow the system to go one step backwards. Mr. Montemayor may have the qualifications, but the process does not pass the smell test. That's all I'm asking you to consider. Thank you.
Thank you. Next comment. Yes, Justin Heather, that's on item 51. Do you want to present now? All right. Julian Radonovsky on number 55. Do you want to present now or wait? I'll wait for the applicant. Okay. Samantha Leindecker on number 68. You don't want to wait or present now? Okay.
Mayor and City Council members, thank you for your time in listening to citizen comments. I am Samantha Leindecker, and I'm a resident of District 8, and I wanted to discuss item 68 with regard to facade protections. We have so many people and organizations working to make downtown a vibrant place, a place that's a destination for our city and potentially an economic engine. As I see buildings being demolished, I've been feeling more inclined to discuss a subject of great importance to our neighborhood. We have a unique urban fabric that has so much potential to become a truly unique place, and with buildings that are real treasures. The historic construction cannot be rebuilt, and to demolish them is something permanent and irreversible. Each building that is destroyed is a project that will no longer come into existence. If enough are torn down, we diminish the potential that downtown Laredo has. So I ask City Council and the Mayor to just please consider an ordinance for facade protection so that our urban fabric can be preserved and so that the vision for downtown Laredo does not lose its momentum. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Iram Telles, on number 19, you want to wait or present? Go wait. Dr. Christopher Shaddock on number 19, you want to present? You're going to wait. Dora Maria Ramirez on number 19.
I'll wait.
You'll wait. Okay. Veronica Jimenez on number 19. Wait. Okay. Melissa Ramirez on number 19. Everybody's waiting. And Jerónimo Treviño, number 19. You'll wait. Okay.
Mayor, motion to bring up, or open up public planning and zoning, public hearings, and introductory ordinances 12.
Well, Mayor, actually, I think we should do 6 and then 19.
Motion to approve number 6. Mike.
Okay.
Well, to bring it up,
Yeah, bring it up. Motion? Second, all in favor?
to bring up number 6 and number 19 for discussion.
6 and 19. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. On number 6, presentation for confirmation by City Council of Javier F. Montemayor Jr. as Associate Municipal Court Judge for the City of Laredo as recommended by Municipal Court Judge, Position 1, Jesus M. Dominguez, in accordance with Section 5.02 of the Center of the City of Laredo.
Mayor,
I'm going to abstain myself on this vote upon the advice of my counsel, since Mr. Montemayor was previously, at one point, my attorney.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
I had a public comment that was sent in. They tried sending it in, so I said I would read it. Can I read it?
Go ahead.
From Mr. Jesus Luna III, his comment is, I'm speaking tonight as a concerned citizen to express my opposition to the appointment of a sitting school board member, the president, in fact, to a municipal court judge position within our city government. School board members are entrusted with making decisions that directly impact our children, families, educators, and taxpayers. That role requires independence, transparency, and freedom from political pressure. Appointing a current school board member to a judicial position within the same local government creates, at minimum, the appearance of a conflict of interest, and perception matters when it comes to the public trust. Judges must remain impartial and above political influence, just as school board members must remain focused solely on the best interests of students and schools. Holding or transitioning into a powerful city-appointed role while serving on the school board blurs the lines and raises valid concerns about divided loyalties, influence, and accountability. Our community deserves clear ethical boundaries between governing bodies. Even if no wrongdoing is intended, this appointment risk undermines confidence in both our school system and our judicial process. I urge city leadership to reconsider this appointment and to prioritize transparency, ethical governance, and the public's trust above all else. Thank you.
All right. Montemayor, go ahead.
Jesus Dominguez, Municipal Court Judge for the City of Laredo.
Go ahead.
The people voted in 2020, 4, that the charter would have, that section 5.02 would be amended to have 2 positions for the municipal court judgeship. As such, it also included as part of the voting that each member would be able to appoint his or her own associate judge. Now, going back in legislative history, we can see that in 2008, at a city charter revision committee that I served on, at that time we took the task and we revised the way to accept what was recommended for as a court of record and look at how the municipal court was structured. And at that time, it was done and it was sent to the voters that the city manager would recommend one associate judge and the elected official or the elected judge would select another one. With the new charter that just passed, now there's 2 positions and it was recommended at each, we took it away from the management and they put it on each judge. This amendment passed overwhelmingly by 86% of the people that voted at that time. They left it in our trust to select the person that the judges would be working with. So that's what are the things. So when I came in as a judge back in 2018, I selected mine. My selection was Eduardo Davila. And Eduardo Davila came in young, with little experience, no experience on the bench. And now you all selected him. Only 2 people applied, and he overwhelmingly had the qualifications to be the judge, and you all unanimously selected him as your judge. You trusted the system the way it worked. I selected him since the beginning. You all selected him on the application process. Right now, I'm bringing forth Mr. Javier Montemayor to be appointed associate judge as duly allowed by charter. And also, I'm bringing you him because he's got 29 years of experience. In fact, him and I went to law school together, and we've been practicing law for the last 29 years. Some of those years that he practiced, he also was a criminal, he was also a juvenile referee. What is that, a referee? It's a judge, just by a different name. And he's got that experience also, that he sat before the bench. Not a lot of people here have taken those appointed positions in the city of Laredo. I know Javier. I've been working with him. I've seen his work. He's got excellent work. He has no complaints against him publicly under the state bar. He's well-rounded in every area of the law. He's practiced before the municipal court also, a city ordinance. And he's been entrusted by the people at United Independent School District to represent them. He's been in that position since 2010. I think I can't speak for him on what his plans are, on what he's going to do with that position, but the United Independent School District, when they file their cases, they don't file them, the police department, they don't file them at the municipal court. They go file them either with Judge Pepe Salinas at JP4, or they go file them over there at the JP2, either with Judge Quintana or Judge Dominguez in South Laredo. That's where they're handled the UISD cases. So, and this is not, and the position that I'm in, it's not a governing body. There's not going to be a conflict of interest, as I not set any policy. I only listen to the law, apply the rule of law, apply your ordinances that you all create, and try to see and make a decision on the facts that are dealing with those type of problems that are going to be in front of us. Javier, I have trust that he will follow the law. He's done it in all his career. I think it's the excellent choice for him to be appointed. I don't have an associate judge anymore. Remember, he became a judge now. So I need an associate judge, and I think it's time for one to be appointed. We did budget for this back when I was telling you, let's prepare. They wanted me to appoint somebody immediately back when it came out, but not thinking about all the logistics of what was gonna be taking forth. Well, so we prepared. We budgeted, there's money in the budget to appoint Javier Montemayor as an associate judge for this position number one.
Go ahead.
I mean, and this, just to be clear, thank you so much. Just to be clear, this would be to finish out the current term, basically from now until the end of the year. So it's just finishing out a term because, again, let's remind everyone, we had a rare situation happen where a charter amendment was passed that gave an additional judgeship that we had to appoint. That took away the associate judge. Now that vacancy is clear. Just for the record, I'd like to read the section of the city charter that explains associate municipal judges. So the associate municipal judges shall be licensed to practice law in the courts of the state of Texas, which Mr. Montemayor is. Each municipal court judge shall recommend one associate municipal court judge to work with him or her during his or her term. The associate municipal court judge shall serve at the pleasure of the judge appointing him or her. I think that's a really important sentence. Serve at the pleasure of the judge appointing him or her. Each associate municipal court judge must be confirmed by the affirmative 6 votes of council at least, and then the associate municipal court judge may be removed at the sole discretion of the municipal court judge who appointed said associate municipal court judge. So for me, it's just reading what the charter says. We do confirm, and for me personally, anytime there's been a confirmation, whether it's from the city manager, whether it's in any case, the way I treat it personally is if someone is appointed that's qualified, that fits the charter, I don't feel that it is my role to question the role of the person where the charter gives the authority to choose the person, especially when it explicitly says, serve at the pleasure of the judge appointing him or her. If we don't like the way this is, next time we should try it again, as far as in the next time we do charter review. So I don't feel it's my place to say, you know, I don't really like this because of X, Y, and Z. It's really about, is this person qualified to serve at the pleasure of the current judge? So for me, that's my logic for supporting.
Yes, go ahead.
So, Mr. Dominguez, right now, I know you have the appointment, Mr. Montemayor, as your choice, but you said that you had the other judge that we appointed, Mr. Davila, has an associate judge as well, right? Does he have an associate judge already pending, or is he ready? Or what I'm asking, are the both associate judges, you know, seats filled, or you're just filling yours right now?
Right now, I'm just here in front of, to fill mine.
Okay.
Mr. Judge Davila would come in and fill his.
So I'm asking management, have we had that opportunity? Because I know there was another associate judge, there was 2 associate judges. And now, what happened to the other associate judge?
There will be 2 associate judges, Mayor
Have
and
we
City
had
Council.
that?
So, yeah, and each judge will appoint or will select one of their own to serve as the associate judge, who will fill in for the judge when he is not capable to do the work that he has to get done.
But what I'm asking is, do we have the associate judge, or has the other associate judge already?
Judge Davila has a name in play, but what he wanted to do is he wanted to see, because these positions are directly related to the judge, and they serve at the pleasure of the judge, we had to create a different structure for how an associate judge would be operated through the city. These are contracted positions that follow the judge's term. And so that's the intent is that, because the judge appoints or selects who they want to have serve as the associate judge, and it serves for that term. So we establish this as a contracted position, which has a base rate plus a 38% that'll cover retirement and insurance as a contracted position. Very, very similar to what we've done with the doctors, that we've done in contracted way as well too. So we treat this profession the same way within that structure. So Mr. Davila wanted to see that information prior to bringing a name forward, but he is working on that.
All right.
With your permission, Mr. Rangel,
No,
Mr. Dominguez has two associate judges right now. One of his got
Can you
promoted
step
to be the permanent
Can you
judge.
step to the podium, please?
no.
Yeah, I want to clarify something because you're being misled a little bit.
We'll give you the podium for a little bit.
Point of order.
Okay. Mr. Dominguez is the elected official. He had two
Name
associate
for the record
judges.
again. Name for the record.
Jose Salvador Tellez. He has two associate municipal court judges. Nathan Chu still serves theoretically under him because he appointed him originally. If you follow the charter, this appointment should belong to Mr. Davila if you want to follow the charter. Okay, not to Ms. Judge Dominguez. If you want to clarify that, answering your question, what happened to the other judge? He's still there. So what you're going to have to do also, with my humble opinion, and Mr. Zona Gwen can concur, you're going to have to designate whether, if Mr. Montemayor gets appointed today, whose associate judge is he? Is he Judge Dominguez or Judge Davila? Because if he's Judge Davila, then his term ends when Judge Davila is up for re-election, not when Judge Dominguez leaves the bench. Because you didn't designate whose position was Judge Davila. See, right now, he's a judge. He should give a choice también. But if the charter, as Dr. King read it, is read verbatim, then your choice has to determine who is Mr. Montemayor going to serve under. Because then his term may last till Judge Davila's term ends. Because Judge Dominguez already had two. He's not the newly appointed one. I just want to clarify that you need to consider that. And if you want to give him a term to 2028, that's fine. But you need to make that decision. There used to be a provision in the charter before that an associate municipal court judge was supposed to be reappointed every 2 years. That was omitted, and I respect that. But now you have that task of determining who's he going to serve under.
All right.
Because Judge Dominguez has Nathan Chu under him right now.
Okay, thank you for your comment.
And for the point of order here,
Yes.
to clarify, I started saying that with the new charter, when I started, I had Judge Davila appointed under my selection. Robert Eads and Rosario Cabello nominated at that time Judge Chu. Is that correct, Mr. Knapp?
Mr. Mayor, that is correct. We went back and checked the minutes on that to confirm because we wanted to make sure that this was as clean as it could be.
Why is it that we didn't
So-
stop, Mayor, if I may, why didn't we stop that right now? Instead of hearing all that, you should have said, this was what's happening. And those minutes were already, you already appointed that, so we went through all the whole ordeal, you know, that's.
Councilman Rangel, I did mention it in my introduction to you all, okay, that he was my appointment. And that's why I'm saying, and he was selected by you guys after being selected in the beginning by me. But far in between of what, nobody's misleading anybody. We're following charter, that's the way charter reads. I have the duty to appoint somebody, and I'm exercising it. That's part of what the people voted for. 86% of the vote came out and said, Judge, you're gonna be able to appoint your selection. So I'm just following what the will of the people is, and I'm exercising it at this time and asking for your confirmation.
Zone, can you give us a little enlightenment?
Well, this is a new charter provision, and we're stopping the old system where the associate judges were city employees. So we're removing those FTEs, and it's something that can be done because, you know, like hiring a plumber or a doctor or a judge, you know, they can exercise independence. So we're going to proceed on with 2 independent contracts, and each judge, elected judge, will appoint his associate judge. And today we have Judge Dominguez here to recommend the appointment of Mr. Montemayor.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
I just want to clarify a little bit about like what Dr. King said as far as the charter and all that, but it does basically rely on council to confirm. So we do still have a duty to oversee regardless of the suggested appointments, just like we have in the past with all the other appointments that we still have a say in. So if the charter wanted it to be the sole discretion of the municipal judge, then we would not be having to confirm it. So I just want to clarify that one point. But the other question I do have is for, if I may ask Mr. Montemayor a question.
Go ahead.
Yes. For the record, Javier Montemayor,
So how do you feel about the concern that the citizen brought up as far as the conflicting loyalties goes?
I don't have conflicting loyalties, council member. I've served as the representative of District 5 for United ISD since 2010. The voters there permitted me to serve them. They elected me overwhelmingly 3-4 times now. And I take that very seriously, just like I do the law. Every day when I'm in court and representing my clients, I do that to the full extent, just like I do at UISD. It's all about applying the law to the facts when it comes to being a judge, being fair and impartial when it comes to being a judge. Experience is necessary, and I have extensive experience in not only litigation, in practicing before municipal courts, being a prosecutor for a municipal court in Houston. I represent now the county, I've represented the city of Rio Bravo, and I've represented the city of El Cenizo. When it comes to being a trustee, I've been there for a long time. As you know, that UISD is going through some deficit issues. And, we're talking about consolidation of schools, we're talking about changing boundaries. And I will finish my term out. Appointment, all due respect, appointment or no appointment, I will finish my term out because I do not want to leave my district unrepresented. The changes are very important to what's going on now, and I will look to finishing out my term. And I will not, I'll say for the record, I have not told anybody, but again, appointment or no appointment, I will not be seeking re-election to the UISD school board. And my wife is here, and she's probably going to be not very happy with that. But I respect everybody's opinion. I respect everybody's view, and that's just my nature. But I will hold every position that I've held. I held it to a higher standard. I respect everybody, and I will do my job. I'm a hard worker. You find me there at 7 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays as well. So there is no conflicting loyalties. There is no conflict at all.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
I appreciate the answer. It's just I guess the appearance, some people do have a concern with that. But just a follow-up question. My understanding is right now you have your private practice,
Yes.
correct? And then you have a contract with the county, correct? Then you have a position on the school board with UISD.
Correct.
And then after this confirmation, you would have a position at the city government. So basically, all the
Temporary,
taxing entities almost, you would
Yeah,
have some kind of position or some kind of role in there. So how would you balance all of those responsibilities?
Well, I represent the county in the collection of delinquent taxes. I work with the people there to make sure that they can afford, paying their taxes, that we can work out payment plans. We work in the courts on that. It's all court related. The school district it's governance. It's a governance. I don't vote on tax rates for the city or for the county. I don't vote on policies with the county or the city. So there is no conflict at all legally.
Thank you.
And so that's
Thank
where I stand.
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Montemayor, welcome to council. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for accepting the appointment from Judge Dominguez. I have always found our interactions to be very professional, and I believe that you have the temperament to serve as a judge. But I have also received calls from constituents, and they also have shared the same, that they believe your character to be outstanding and that you would be a great addition and a benefit to the city serving in this role. So thank you very much.
I appreciate
for
that.
the consideration of it.
I appreciate that.
Any other comment? No.
Mayor.
All right.
Mayor, could I just be recognized just for one more, just on the same item, can I just be recognized? I just have one question on that.
Hold on.
Mayor, just make a motion to accept Mr. Montemayor.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed, Mayor, for the
Okay.
conflict.
How many votes do we need for this?
We need 6. We need a super.
Six, Mayor, you have.
And we have the 6. We have 8.
Let's do a roll call. All right. District number 1?
You second.
Okay.
4.
do we have?
We have seven. We're good?
Eight,
Good.
8, 4, and 1 against. Mayor.
All right.
No, the mayor.
No, I didn't vote.
I'm sorry. Yes.
I didn't vote. So we're still good?
7 and 1.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay.
Congratulations.
Motion passes.
Truly an honor.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may.
Mayor, can I just be recognized real quick, just for one comment, real quick?
Go ahead.
Mayor, thank you again. Juan Avila for the record. Mayor, we've always done citizen comments through either internet or we having to be in person. We've never accepted comments from a council man or woman through a phone or through a list or anything. Talking about transparency, we're talking about being, forward with everybody, then we need to follow that same protocol. I would have loved that she would have put, Councilman Vanessa would have put the comment here where everybody could have seen it instead of having that judgment that where is the transparency? We hold y'all accountability. This is accountability. She needs to be more transparent. She would have showed it to us here on the film. Well, like, oh, okay, there it is. I see it. But then again, she's really, I'm not saying she's lying. I'm not saying she's anything else, but transparency. And that's something that you have mentioned through your team members a lot. And I'm asking y'all for that transparency. I didn't see it. She was reading it, but I didn't see it. So
Mayor, if I
therefore,
may?
where is the transparency?
Mayor, if I may?
Thank you.
Hold on.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Mayor,
Go
if I
ahead.
may? Zone, is there anything wrong with a council member reading a statement that was sent to them?
Yeah, just backing up a little bit, during COVID, we allowed statements to be sent in and read by staff. But now, after COVID, just to ensure the legitimacy of the public comments, we ask them to appear in person. However, you are council members, you can speak, whether you speak based on a reference, and that I believe it's allowable for you to read something based on your discretion.
And just for the record, Mayor, if those were my personal words, I would have just said them, they were mine. So it was sent in, so if anybody wants to see, I have the phone number, the name for transparency purposes of the person. They can call them and verify like they do on LMT, but again, if those were my personal words, I would have just said them myself.
All right. Anybody else?
Mayor.
Mr. Mayor,
You want to say something? Go ahead.
Mr. Marnell, can you clear that up for us? The other day you had Mr. Gonzalez read one of the comments, so I just want to clear up, why is it the last time that there was a public comment, you asked us to read it?
It was a comment that was submitted, and the council allowed for it to be read.
So we allowed for that comment to come in?
If I may, I'll answer that, if I may.
Go ahead.
Again, we stopped the submission of written comments and then having staff read. So it would not have been read by staff. However, because the council member wants to read it, it's the same thing as you getting recognized by the mayor and stating it. So
Thank you.
that's
All right.
Mayor,
Anybody
if I
else?
may, I had already
Go
called
ahead.
for this, calling for the approval and the acceptance of appointments to commissions, boards, and committees, 7 through 11.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion, open up planning and zoning, public hearing, introductory ordinances, 12.
Mayor, we had already motioned to bring up number 19 as part of the previous motion, so we were pending that.
Number 19 was next?
I apologize, you were next.
All right. Let's
I
go with number
retract my
19.
motion.
Number 19.
We have comments, Mayor, on the.
All right. Go with number 19. That's a different.
Yes.
Number 19, an ordinance of the City of Laredo, Texas, amending Chapter 15, Article 6, Section 78, definitions of the Code of Ordinances by redefining bar, providing that this ordinance shall be cumulative, providing a severability clause, and declaring an effective date. On this item, Melissa Ramirez.
Hello, Mayor and City Council. If you allow me to pass out some packets?
Yeah, for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa Ramirez.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I speak? Okay. I will need access to the projector. Do I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So. Is it on?
No, you have to turn it on first.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Melissa Ramirez, and I am a Program Director at Serving Children and Adults in Need, also known as SCAN. I just passed out a packet to each of you. And so on Wednesday, January 28th, SCAN hosted a press conference. SCAN hosted a press conference regarding item number 19 on tonight's agenda, which is the possible change to the no smoking in public places ordinance to benefit the tobacco specialty retail stores and cigar lounges.
Ms. Ramirez? Oh, never mind, we have IT fixing that.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So I would like to share a few key points with you. So SCAN was originally formed in 1982 as Stop Child Abuse and Neglect. Today, Serving Children and Adults in Need, otherwise known as SCAN, is a community-based nonprofit social services organization with a 43-year history of providing a variety of comprehensive and culturally sensitive prevention, intervention, treatment, and recovery support services. SCAN has over 40 programs providing services in 17 South Texas counties and has satellite offices in 5 counties. SCAN also has a budget of more than $15 million and currently employs 240 individuals. Established in 1999, the Webb County Community Coalition of SCAN has over 60 members from all sectors of the community. However, as of today, it has increased to 86. On April 3, 2006, the No Smoking in Public Places Ordinance was passed by City Council on a 5-3 vote after a 3-year grassroots campaign spearheaded by members of SCAN's Webb County Community Coalition. So this ordinance has been in place for a total of 19 years. There have been only 2 major changes to the ordinance since it was first passed. The first change was to benefit tobacco specialty retail stores by allowing them to be placed in locations that were not freestanding, therefore weakening the ordinance. The second change was adding electronic smoking devices to the ordinance, therefore strengthening the ordinance. The current proposed change would once again benefit tobacco specialty retail stores by allowing them to operate as bars where smoking is allowed, significantly weakening the ordinance. Changing the long-standing definition of the term bar in the ordinance to exclusively benefit tobacco specialty retail stores or cigar lounges is bad public health policy. The ordinance currently has an option in place for tobacco specialty retail stores or cigar lounges to operate as private clubs, where their customers could consume tobacco products, alcohol, and food inside their establishments. I would like to show you a sample of some public. Okay. So I would like to show you a sample of an existing private club in Corpus Christi, Texas that opened in July 2025. There are currently dozens of private clubs like this throughout the state of Texas. So as we can see here in the picture, this particular private club is called Prohibition Private Cigar Lounge in Corpus Christi, Texas. Here we see a picture of their front door, a picture of the bar or lounge area, and as it says here, join Corpus Christi's only private and exclusive cigar lounge. Then we see a picture of several bottles, a picture of someone smoking, a picture of even food that they saw at the place, as well as a picture of their different memberships that they offer. So whether it's a visiting one-time membership, a 3-month membership, a founding member, or as a regular member as annually or monthly. So right now, the business owner that is asking for the change in the ordinance can technically operate tomorrow, doing everything they want to do where customers can both consume tobacco and alcohol products in their establishment. It just needs to be set up as a private club. The ordinance does not need to be changed, and the business owner can technically operate doing everything that they want to do. So as mentioned in the last, can I just have a few minutes?
Yeah, go ahead, finish up.
As mentioned in the last city council meeting on January 20th, there are currently only 2 cigar lounges in Laredo. The primary focus of these establishments is to provide customers with opportunities to consume deadly tobacco products on their premises. And as we know, the use of tobacco products is the leading cause of preventable death in the United States. Consequently, the Webb County Community Coalition, SCAN, and many others are asking why the city of Laredo would be actively advocating to change one of the strongest no smoking in public places ordinances in Texas to benefit these anti-public health establishments by giving them special permission to serve alcohol and allowing smoking inside their establishments. Before voting to weaken the ordinance, we are requesting that you kindly table the item at this time and host a public workshop where community members can voice their opinions and provide input in a collaborative manner with the mayor, city council members, and City of Laredo staff. We do not believe there is any necessity to fast-track such a significant change, and in doing so without public input runs counter to building trust and fostering transparency with constituents. We are also requesting that the Laredo Public Health Department be allowed to play a role in explaining how this change would violate public health best practices and how it could negatively affect the community in the long term. Ultimately, we hope that the mayor and the majority of city council members to be public heroes and resoundingly say no to modifying the ordinance to benefit tobacco specialty retail stores. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have on this item Veronica Jimenez.
Good evening. If I may share.
Good evening.
You can stand in the middle.
Here?
Right there. There.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Veronica Jimenez. I am the Program Director for the Webb County Community Coalition of Serving Children and Adults in Need, SCAN. I'm here today to ask you not to make a change in the no smoking in public places ordinance, since this will allow many potential establishments to allow customers to consume alcoholic beverages and smoke tobacco products inside their premises. There is a common misconception that cigars are less harmful than cigarettes or other tobacco products. However, there is no safe level of consumption of tobacco products. Don't believe the hype, like in that worksheet says. Don't believe the hype. Secondhand cigarette smoke is hazardous. A single full-size cigar may contain almost as much nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. Secondhand cigarette smoke contains the same toxic chemicals that secondhand cigarette smoke does. The secondhand cigar smoke can cause or contribute to lung cancer and heart disease. Cigar smoking can cause cancer of oral cavity, esophagus, and lung cancer. Cities and states should not create exemptions to accommodate cigar smoke or exposing the workers to deadly smoke from cigars. Therefore, I ask that you please not make any changes to this no smoking and public places ordinance. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Dora Maria Ramirez on the same item, number 19.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. For the record, my name is Dora Maria Ramirez. So I'd like to ask your permission if I could also share a document that I'll be talking about. But before I do that, I just want to briefly go over this. I am the Director of Prevention Services at SCAN Inc. And I was here 2 weeks ago asking to please vote against this amendment. I'm also a certified prevention specialist and a licensed chemical dependency counselor in the state of Texas. So for 30 years, I have been in Public Health Initiative in Laredo. I was one of the first original members of the Webb County Community Coalition, which advocated for a smoke-free environment beginning in 2003. It took us 3 years to try to convince people that this was the best thing that we needed to do for their safety, right? And so with this no comprehensive smoking in public places ordinance, it's secured, right, for the people to be protected, all workers, all individuals. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and share this document. Hopefully I can do it the right way, where it shows, is it correct? Like that? Okay, perfect. This is for the record so that you can see why I'm asking why I'm opposing the alcohol sales and tobacco specialty store cigar lounges. I strongly urge the City Council not to amend the no smoking in public places ordinance to allow this establishment to sell alcohol for the following reasons. Number one, allowing alcohol to be sold creates a high-risk environment where co-use of both alcohol and tobacco products will increase, and co-use significantly increase the addiction risk and impair judgment. The recommended amendment contradicts the original intent of the no smoking place to harmful, which was to reduce exposure of customers and employees in public places to harmful substances and protect public health. That was the whole thing that we wanted to do. Alcohol sales and tobacco stores, cigar lounges will bring additional safety concerns, including increased disturbances, impaired driving, and enforcement challenges. By allowing the tobacco store, cigar lounge to sell alcohol creates an uneven playing field, which was the guiding principles in the establishments of the original ordinance. Bars and restaurants will sell alcohol, but couldn't allow customers to smoke. Tobacco stores could allow customers to smoke, but couldn't serve them alcohol. So the proposed change gives the tobacco store, cigar lounges an unfair advantage. The no smoking ordinance already permits business establishments to identify, to identify as private clubs, which would allow their customers to smoke tobacco products and consume alcohol inside their premises. The potential economic benefits to the tobacco stores, cigar lounges do not outweigh the potential public health costs, which is what we were trying to do. Finally, communities like Laredo with strong, consistent tobacco and alcohol regulations experience fewer preventable health issues and safer neighborhoods. For these reasons, I ask the City Council one more time to keep the no smoking ordinance intact and reject this and any future amendments that would allow alcohol sales in tobacco stores, cigar lounges. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, I believe it is more important than ever to work in a collaborative manner to preserve our good public health. Thank you for your time and for allowing me the extra minutes.
Thank you.
Mayor, I have a question real
Yes,
quick.
go ahead.
Legal zone. To address her point there as far as registering as a private club, what is the difference in going that route for these cigar lounges to register as private clubs versus having an ordinance change? I mean, what is the process for that?
Well, to be a private club, obviously, the big business difference is you're going through memberships, requiring memberships as opposed to being open to the public.
But can you be registered with the city as a private club and not have memberships? Like, where are the guidelines?
Yeah, I can look that up, but that's what I was about to do, to be honest. But I believe that membership is a main component of a private club. Have a private club and be open to.
But who regulates that?
Let me double check that
Because I mean, that's actually a good idea. I mean, if they just become a private club, then they can satisfy both things, right? Instead of being called a cigar lounge, they can be the cigar lounge club. So that's actually a good point. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Quick question to Lee as well. Doesn't it fall to open up that business or that club or to get to open it up, doesn't it have to follow the same ordinance?
No, I mean the obvious one in town is the Laredo Country Club. That's a club, and I can give me a minute. I'll double check our ordinances to see about the private clubs because I wasn't anticipating this.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
my question also to management is, are there stricter regulations placed on bars than on tobacco shops and cigar lounges?
As far as cigar lounges, a main difference is you have to have like a separate HVAC system as opposed to like a bar and such. Yes.
So is there, well, I guess I'm just trying to find out, is there an incentive for bars to convert to, having a little tobacco shop, a cigar area, and circumvent then our regulations against smoking in bars?
If I may, what's being proposed is a change to the health code, because the health code definition of bar is a bit more expansive than any consumption of alcohol or serving alcohol versus the land development code that follows the traditional state requirements of 51% or more serving alcohol on premises. So that's what's being that's what's before you. So if it passes, for instance, and the health code definition mirrors the land development code, that the only one that would take advantage of it right now would be, a cigar lounge that would be allowed to serve alcohol. And then if a bar wants to convert to that, then it would have to convert to the same criteria as that smoking lounge, yes.
Which is the HVAC.
Yeah, which is a separate HVAC system, yes.
So, but we're suggesting that bars could then try to qualify for this exemption of smoking?
Mayor, if I may?
It would
Yes,
have
go
to
ahead.
become
Non-smoking, I should say.
Mayor, if I
Go
may?
ahead. A smoking lounge.
I wasn't going to comment until after everybody said their comments. Would y'all like to continue with your comments, and then I can say my piece on it? Is that okay? Would y'all like to do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we can continue with Craddock, please.
All right.
Dr. Craddock.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Dr. Christopher Craddock on this item.
So you'll be able to see the right way to turn to. Oh, you can go ahead and do it. Yes, sir. Can I start here? Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and city staff members. My name for the record is Dr. Christopher Craddock. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Serving Children and Adults in Need, called SCAN, where I've worked for almost 28 years, focusing primarily on public health prevention and intervention. I'm also a longtime member of the Webb County Community Coalition. Mr. Ramirez and I were one of the first ones that, when it was established in 1999. It's been there a long time. And I'm here tonight to speak as a coalition member. So when I say we, I'm referring to the coalition and the members when I say we. So I placed a copy of an award that I received for being a part of the Smoke-Free Laredo Committee that worked for 3 years. It was grueling years, from 2003 to 2006, to implement the current no smoking in public places ordinance. I just want to, to show this, because a lot of times people can just say it, but I was there at the beginning, so was Mr. Ramirez. We were in the trenches, and it was a tough battle, and we're so thankful to the city council members that took so much heat to implement it, because it was a landmark ordinance at the time. So just in the middle of it says, imagine Laredo smoke-free, once a vision is now a bright future for Laredo. So to most of you, the no smoking ordinance is most likely just some words on a piece of paper. However, for me and the many people like Mr. Ramirez that work so hard to implement it, it's a deeply revered document. It's very special. It's almost sacred to us. That it has tremendously helped to improve public health in the community. Okay? We had two main goals when we started. We wanted to protect children from ever having to be exposed to public places to secondhand smoke, especially in restaurants. But the second goal that we had, and it was a tough one to get this across to everybody, is we wanted to protect all workers from being exposed to secondhand smoke, regardless of where they worked. Whether it was bars, whether it was restaurants, we wanted to protect them because everybody has the right to work. And people would say, oh, but they choose to work there. People don't need to be exposed to the smoke wherever they work. So the last time that people could smoke tobacco and drink alcohol in the same public establishment here in Laredo was way back in 2006. So what y'all are wanting to do is literally turn the clock back 20 years to that time. And it's going to open the door, we feel, for other people to take advantage of this option. As the city attorney mentioned in a previous meeting, the health code has a superior, I'm going to use this term, city attorney, but it has a superior definition to what's in the land code development. And he said that one, outweighs, it oversees any other ordinance. So what's in the land development code is a weaker definition. And y'all are using that weaker definition just to benefit one business person. You're not talking about 5 businesses. For one business, we're going to throw away 20 years of the no smoking ordinance. And that's something I know Ms. Mendoza Ramirez mentioned in her presentation. Why are I willing to do that for one business when he has the opportunity to establish himself as a private club? Mr. Ramirez clearly showed that. That model is working throughout the state of Texas. It's working in Corpus. Corpus is actually doing more than the gentleman here, because in Corpus, they're selling food. Where he wants to, can I yeah, he wants to sell alcohol and tobacco. So, the first time that we found out about it as a coalition was on, January 17th. That was it. It hadn't made the news. But the minute that we heard about it, we started contacting every one of y'all. Hopefully, I read your emails. You should know I've been emailing all of you regularly, and many of our members and many people in the community. So, our issue is this. Based on the information on November 17th, we know that the business owner, he started contacting you all in August, and he's had personal contact with one council member that was mentioned at the meeting several times. All we've been able to do in 2 weeks is to just have contact with you through email. We have not been able to talk with you, talk to city staff. So what we're asking for simply is this. Oh, the other issue, doing surveys. The public health department and the city have already done a survey on the border wall. They just started one on autism needs. We would like to have a survey done before a decision's made. Do people want this ordinance to be changed? Maybe it goes our way, maybe it doesn't. But I think y'all need to hear that information. People mentioned tonight about being transparent, involving your constituents. Well, we would like to have a chance at a public workshop, hopefully more than one, where we can dialogue with y'all on that. So tonight, I know Dr. Richard Chamberlain's here. I would like him as the health department director to speak to y'all, because what I've seen in all the meetings that I've watched, you've never asked him once, not in a public forum. He's our public health expert. We should hear from him. If y'all wanted to change something with public safety, I think y'all would have to ask the chief of police and the fire chief before you decided to change a major public safety ordinance. We should do the same here. So I'm asking for Dr. Chamberlain to please be allowed to speak tonight, just to tell us his expertise on how weakening the ordinance could hurt the city of Laredo's public health. And I think, last thing, just a couple of things. I think there's a better way forward to achieve the balance that y'all want to do as business. You want to be business friendly, we understand that. But you also have to protect public health. And we think that if we can dialogue with you in a public workshop, it can make it happen. So I would say this, if you approve the change to the bar definition, we feel that it's going to trigger several other changes. I apologize. Because there's some deficiencies and flaws that would have to be brought up again. So we're going to be coming back to you asking to address those flaws, because once you change that definition, you're going to have other definitions. We feel like you're going to need to make changes in the enforcement section, because it's not clear how you're going to enforce the alcohol sales portion when it's based on a quarterly, the reports from TABC. So I think based on the information, the city attorney isn't clear on the private club. The thing to do tonight is to please not vote on it. It's obvious that it needs to be tabled so we can have some more dialogue, and I think we can work together in a collaborative manner to make that happen. Okay, so
All right.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may, just
Yes, go ahead.
for information for the council, our ordinance 15-79B5 allows smoking in private clubs as well as private residences and so forth, which exempts it from the no smoking ordinance that we have. Also, ordinance 5-11B3 defines a private club through TABC. Private clubs are defined by TABC. So to answer the question from earlier, who enforces it would be TABC. So you have to be qualified as a private club under TABC, then you can have smoking and alcohol together. But it has to be a members only social fraternal organization. It's not open to the public. That's with it.
Mayor,
All right.
may I?
Yes,
Just
go ahead.
on Zon's point. So you're saying that the city then would not be in charge of enforcing any regulations, that would be left to the Tobacco, Alcohol, and Bureau Commission? Is it a commission?
TABC. As far as whether it's legitimately a private club or not, it would be licensed through TABC, yes.
Right, just to say that then the city would have the benefit of having another official organization there to oversee and make sure that the requirements that are being met, they're running through a state agency also.
Yes.
Just for the point, my understanding, not an expert on it, looking at the land development code, the way that it would work is y'all would be monitoring the sales of alcohol through TABC's reports, because they're monthly. And you would be trying to determine, do they have sales that exceed 50% revenue, right? The idea is that they can't exceed 50% on alcohol, it has to be more tobacco. So y'all would be looking at that, but you would also have to get a report from the business owner on what the tobacco sales are, because you're gonna have to balance that. TABC doesn't collect the tobacco sales information.
Right,
So-
but
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
my comment was to suggest that
Yes.
if it stays under this private club designation, that TABC would be
Yes, okay,
responsible
yes.
for enforcing a lot of the regulations for that private
Yeah, I'm
club.
just, the concern going forward is.
That's a good point.
If the bar definition, it's gonna be a nightmare in terms of regulation, and how are you gonna penalize that? Right now, it talks about, the penalties are focused on businesses that violate the smoking ordinance. So now you're gonna have to be modified, this is what I'm saying, you would have to modify the ordinance to be clear on what the penalties are gonna be when the alcohol sales level, January it's at 65%, February, it's at 40, and then maybe, in March, it's 30. But it has to average out, but if it doesn't, what are gonna be the fines? Does he get fined for January that was over, the other two weren't? It's a mess, but the idea is a private club is really the way to go, and it's in the ordinance. He's allowed to do everything he's asked, and even in the mail. It says in his letter that he sent to y'all, this is for public record, this is from, I believe, in the November 17th meeting, he's telling you he has a formal request for a special use permit to operate a cigar lounge with limited alcohol spirits. But the key point is, it's a refined, adult-only establishment, and he's focusing on having premium cigars, fine spirits, and crafted cocktails in an upscale environment. The target populations for these types of organizations are typically higher economic, socioeconomic range, 35 and older. It's not really, the general public is not the target population anyway. So the private club is the easy way to go, and we're done with this. We don't have a complaint. If you're following the ordinance, he's allowed to do it. He can do everything he wants to do, technically starting tomorrow, if he has the TABC license to sell alcohol. And we're
Okay.
done.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Next comment on this item, Iram Tellez.
Hello, good afternoon, Mayor and Council and city staff. God bless you, everyone. I'm here in concern to the same item 19. I'm a pastor here in Laredo.
Your name for the record, please.
Iram Tellez, I'm Pastor Iram Tellez.
Yes.
And I'm the founder and president of an organization called Grace Center, Casa Rescate. It's a place where Jesus Christ is transforming the life of the addicts, people that have drug addictions, and we've had so many good testimonies. We started since 2021. And I'm also a member of the Webb County Community Coalition with SCAN. And I'm also a member of the Drug and Alcohol Awareness Committee with the City of Laredo. And we get to work a lot with people that have drug addictions, that are struggling. And my concern is that if that is if that ordinance is changed, it would be a free for all in regards to obtaining a license where they could sell alcohol. And now there's more access to our youth. You know, as in changing that a city ordinance where any other establishments are gonna see dollar signs and see it's good for business. As a business person, it's good, but is it good for our community? You know, my grandma used to say in Spanish, no desparramen lo que ya juntamos. You know, I know the work mayor and city council and the city of Laredo have done. You know, I'm part of the drug and alcohol awareness. We saw last year, we had less death of fentanyl, and we've been pushing forward. Why step back? So I humbly come and voice my opinion in regards to this item. And I ask you not to approve it, just because it's gonna affect our youth. Right now, the trend in vaping, it's way higher with the younger community than older community. That if we give them an access to these places that they could come and smoke and now drink in our facility, I guess we have seen the problem we have downtown with the alcohol on the weekends. And kind of changing that to give them more time to go and enjoy a cigar and have a time, but now have a drink, and costing that equals DWIs, that equals accidents, and I see Dr. You know, it's 2006 pushing and moving forward, and now that I'm, you know, before 5 years ago, I didn't know much about, coalition and being involved with our community and doing work, where we're giving awareness. But now that I see the community, it's a lot of community that's working to better our community with alcohol, with cigars. For me, the way it is, that's just a gateway for other drugs and other addictions that we don't need. I thank you and I bless you. May the Lord bless you, and thank you for all your service. Thank you for listening.
Next is Jerónimo Treviño on the same item.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. For the record, my name is Jerónimo Treviño, and I am here in favor of the proposed ordinance change as the future proprietor of the Scar Lounge. Types of bar. There are many definitions as it relates to bar. It can be a collective group of attorneys, iron bars across the window for security, or a location like a counter or a place to serve drinks and food. For example, meet me at the bar inside of the restaurant. Bar may mean to prevent or forbid, it may be to measure music, or a commercial classification as referenced in Laredo's Land Community or Land Development Code of 2013. Laredo's, when you have two conflicting definitions, it leaves, in the key components of the ordinances, it leaves too much room for interpretation. In the Code of Ordinance, bar is mentioned 8 different times in 3 different contexts. I would venture to state that when the no smoking ordinance was written, it wasn't referring to a sign with a red bar across it or a location inside of the restaurant. Of course not. It was referring to the business of a bar, the commercial classification. Why the change? To eliminate the conflicting definitions and establish a clear, measurable standard of enforcement. I've attached the proposed ordinance for tonight's agenda. I don't know if anyone's actually read it, but all it says is it's going to mirror the definition of the Land Development Code and place it in the Code of Ordinances. That's all it's doing. To hear everything about changing and allowing smoking and everything, it just shocks me. This just gives us a unified front. Is this common? Yes, other major cities have incorporated. Laredo defined it 13 years ago. Waco defines bar at 50%. Dallas sets a threshold of 75%. TABC regulates licensing, but they do not define bar. It is up to the city to define bar, which we have done since 2013. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We need to stop calling everything a bar. On-premise alcohol is not the determining factor. Many establishments have on-premise alcohol. I mean, should we reclassify some of these establishments? I mean, that wouldn't be very logical to do. If bars are the concern, the most statistically abused classification as it relates to alcohol is restaurant. Will this affect the no smoking in public ordinance? Absolutely not. Bars is still number 19. It's on the list, and now that we have now that we ordain a clear definition, we know what that means. It is common to focus on the prohibited areas, but in the 20 years of the ordinance existence, whether you like to admit it or not, tobacco specialty retail stores have always been exempted. Reason being, this is the only classification of business that directly contradicts the ordinance. Eradicating their existence was not practical then, and it's not practical now, as these establishments predicated the ordinance.
Go ahead.
3 minutes, thank you. We mustn't forget that there is a special use permit that must be applied for and granted. It goes before Planning and Zoning Committee, it goes before City Council, must be read 3 times. It has restrictions in the Land Development Code. Learning firsthand, a dedicated HVAC system isn't as simple as having your own unit. Every business has their own unit. But a unit that actually extracts smoke and addresses the odors as defined in the Code of Ordinances requires an energy recovery ventilator, an ERV. This is significantly more expensive and mostly found in hospitals and clinics, which I will incorporate. These are the demanded SCP standards. There's so many of them. Any smoking establishment, smoke shop, vape shop, they require an SCP. We have approximately 24 smoke shops throughout Laredo. How many SCPs have you all seen? They must be 21 years or older, proper zoning, comply with gross revenue percentages, cannot stay open past midnight, yet I still see 24/7 signs out there. We just need to look at the standards that are already in place. We have them already, they exist. I got a lot of doctors on the panel. If my white blood cell count is low, do I have cancer? I'm like, no, I could be anemic, I could have an infection, it can be hereditary. The totality of the circumstances is what we need to look at. I may not be the first establishment with cigars, but I'm definitely the first that has incorporated every single requirement. And cigar lounges are regulated through layer framework, all of which are already there. Economic growth shouldn't suffer for those doing the right thing, and because others don't understand the totality of the circumstances. I care about my city and the people within. I've gone above and beyond to make sure of it. Please pass this ordinance so I may proceed. Pending any questions, thank you.
Mayor Mann?
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, we've had the discussion about the ordinance already allowing for private clubs and that your business could fall under that private club allowance as it exists right now. Why did you not choose to follow that path?
Because it does take it out of it takes it out of the city's hands, believe it or not. I do want there to be regulations. I do want there to be standards. And I actually embrace that I could be that template moving forward. And I do want it to be open to the public. I don't want people to just go in there and pay $1,000 of membership. It's also a retail store too, because not everybody that enters is going to have a drink. So people just walk in, buy some cigars, and they leave. They don't have to stay. And if I limit that to members only, then I have to have security at the door, some kind of mechanism to enter. You can't come in just to buy a smoke. It's not the business plan that I want. Believe me, I reviewed it at the time. I can't tell you everything because it's been so long, but I knew that I was against it because it just didn't seem feasible.
So my understanding is that membership is set, the membership rate would be set by you. It wouldn't necessarily be $1,000 per member, that is something that you as a
Normally
business.
they're higher. Cigar lounges are up there, believe it or not. It's not something that I want. Memberships that I do have are going to be minimal because I want them to be the loyalty programs, the discounts to offer to everybody. And again, if you walk into the establishment, you're 21, it's a niche. That's all it is. It's not open to the public like everyone says it is. There are certain guidelines that have to be met, 21 years older. I mean, all these little things have to be there. And I'm doing it. I want to do it.
Well, I believe, just the last thing, I believe that, I think the hesitation here is that we have removed smoking from bars because we see that as a city as a significant public health risk. And all respect for people who choose to smoke, but it does negatively impact your health. And so if we remove this, how will other tobacco shops, we allowed one to open in front of Laredo College in the south. How does this prevent other tobacco shops from not taking this course and incorporating alcohol into their business? And now we're having bars that allow smoking.
No, that's not true.
it
Well,
competes
first of
with
all, the whole point of the presentation is that we're not bars. We need to kind of get away from that. I know it's hard to do, but I agree. Smoking should not be allowed in bars, but this is not a bar. The Land Development Code came out with 3 definitions in 2013: smoking establishment, tobacco shops, and drug and paraphernalia. The smoking shop that you're talking about, they don't have alcohol. That's not allowed. It's only the smoking establishment that does, which includes the cigar lounges. And I may have had that here. This is a special use permit for the smoking establishment. And it says there I have to be 50% under, and include cigar lounges. I have to have the HVAC system, the special use permit. Like, all these are already there. They're already in place. So just to say that it's just going to happen and flood the system or the city with bars transitioning, it's not that simple. It's a significant increase in cost to change the HVAC. And like I said earlier, you can't just say, yeah, I have an HVAC system. No, you need that ERV system to be a part of it, and that's expensive. Not everyone's going to do that.
Yes, go ahead. Okay, let me comment on this because this ordinance change is coming because of me. Mr. Trevino contacted me about it, and he wants to open up this cigar lounge in District 5. And as you all know, I'm extremely business friendly, and I want business to open up here in Laredo. I don't like putting up walls for businesses. I like to make it as easy as possible for them to continue developing and continue investing in our city. So this boils down to really a personal choice at the end of the day. We all know what's good for us and what's bad for us. We know smoking is terrible for us. Mr. Trevino, I'm sorry, but I will never visit your shop because I don't smoke. I've never smoked a day in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette, a marijuana stick, anything, a cigar, whatever. I've never smoked anything. My parents smoked my entire life when I was growing up, and I hated it, which I thank them for it now because I won't pick one up. But it's my choice. If I should want to pick it up one day, smoking, for whatever reason, that is allowed here in the city of Laredo. We're not changing that. We're not changing that. The simple difference is that we're allowing a cigar lounge to be able to serve alcohol. That's the difference. So this is an establishment not for families, but for adults over the age of 21. And that's what we need to differentiate. I'm completely in favor of continuing the ban of smoking in bars, in restaurants, because I frequent them often. Let's just start banning French fries now because we know they're terrible for us. They cause heart disease, they cause cholesterol, they cause high blood pressure. Where does the regulation stop for government to come into your life and tell you that you can't do something legal? Because smoking is still legal in Texas, in the city of Laredo, in the United States. That's an issue that I have. You're specifically going to these businesses to smoke. That's what you're going for. And at the end of the day, you know it's terrible for you. We all know that. We've been told that for years and years and years since I've been growing up. And I never picked one up. But these are personal choices. Another thing, when this business, if this business should ever cross a 50% line of alcohol sales, it becomes a bar. And here in Laredo, a bar, you can't smoke in there anymore. Do you think this gentleman is going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for a cigar lounge to go to 50% of alcohol sales to say, okay, you can't smoke here anymore. You're not considered a cigar lounge anymore. And that's why I considered the change of this ordinance specifically. It's specifically for these types of businesses. It's not for a bar to come in here and start asking for it, or restaurants to come in here and start asking for it. Every single restaurant that we go to, I mean, you all see them all the time. I'm not gonna mention my favorite ones, but there's designated areas to smoke. It's already allowed, guys. It may not be indoor, but it certainly is outside. Speaking about employees are outside serving their customers regardless. They're in and out of there. And I understand that 100%. I wouldn't want to work there. But sometimes we need to do that. My point is there's already places here in public that smoking is allowed. You go, I was going to mention a restaurant, but I'm not going to mention them. There's restaurants that we see all the time. There's designated spaces for them. And that's what we need to understand. This is not for families. This is not families to go visit. You need to be over the age of 21. You're an adult. In Texas, you're an adult at 18. But you have to be over 21 years of age to frequent these places or to even go visit these places. That's my point. On top of the extractor, ventilators, there's plenty of restrictions the city of Laredo has to become a cigar lounge. There's plenty of them. There's not going to be any places like this open up next to a school because this council has stood against that. We're not going to allow that. Any tobacco shops or anything like that next to schools because we want to keep our children safe. Again, I revert to the same thing. This is an establishment of 21 years of age or older. It's not for children. It's not for families to go visit these places. And that's the reason why we brought this. And just please keep in mind, if the establishment should reach 50% of alcohol sales, it becomes a bar. And therefore, there's no more smoking. So it'd be even better for us, right? But Mr. Trevino would like to be here and develop and invest money in the city of Laredo. Of course, with investment comes opportunities for jobs. And we need to see that. We just can't keep our mind closed from what happened 20 years ago because we're always conforming into different things. And to stop me, because I want to pick up smoking now and I'd like to have a cognac or a brandy when I'm having a cigar, I don't think the city of Laredo or any other type of city should be restricting us to be able to do what I legally want to do. My thoughts on it.
Mayor,
All right, go ahead.
can we just clarify what the definition of a cigar lounge is, zone? And I think you had it on the slide, Mr. Trevino, but if you take the liberty of using your slides if you don't mind. But basically, can we just, how difficult is it to get into this status? Like, for example, can a vape shop he's already referenced it, but I just want to hear from you. All these vape shops that we've seen coming up, because, I mean, for me, the youth, vaping is the issue that obviously we see as an epidemic right now in our nation. I don't see 17, 18, 19-year-old kids getting into cigars. But my question is, a vape shop, for example, would they be able to use this change to sell alcohol?
So, in order to become the smoking establishment, you have to have that special HVAC system, a separate HVAC system. So if you're a cigar lounge, then you probably have that already because that's how you became that status. So yes, with this change, then cigar lounges can offer alcohol up to the 50% level. But on the flip side, a bar, in order to be able to allow smoking, would have to reduce their set consumptions of alcohol to below 51%, and then install this HVAC.
And who from the city of, this is for the public, but who from the city of Laredo confirms 50% or alcohol or more? We just rely on reporting from TABC, correct? So they regulate that and they give reports to who? Is it just going to the public?
It's a public record, yes. And again, that we've all kind of seen it with public carries, where you say like 51% or more. So that's kind of what we all have been operating under, and it's through TABC's public records. Yes.
So there's no way he could cross that 50% mark and get away with misleading the public and maintaining this status and continuing to sell alcohol as a cigar shop.
There will be an enforcement mechanism, yes, but something that
and just walk.
His own compliance as well as enforcement. Yes.
And just walk the public through what it would take for a vape shop or any other entity to convert themselves into this status as a cigar shop. Because the idea out there is that it would just be so easy and just open the door for all. I just want to know. Just walk us through what the steps would be for someone to abuse this new ordinance to allow smoking. Or to smoking and alcohol in the same place. They'd have to do the HVAC?
HVAC and keep alcohol sales below 51%. Yes.
Moreover, the SUP.
Yes.
They'd have to come to council.
And so every single time this happened, a SUP would have to come to us, and obviously if the concerns of the community that came out there did happen, where all of a sudden we're getting 10, 20, 30 SUP requests, we would see, okay, there was a mistake, or this could have been an issue. But I guess my thing is, San Antonio, I know for a fact, have cigar lounges that sell alcohol. The nation's capital, I've seen cigar lounges that serve alcohol. It just seems a bit. I'm a physician, Dr. Trevino. We're both primary care physicians. We counsel patients every day on quitting smoking. That is what we do. But I do agree that at the end of the day, this gentleman came to us way back. He had a clear business idea about what he wanted to do, that he's replicate what other cities have done, allow for a cigar lounge that sells alcohol. I remember when I lived in McAllen, those existed. San Antonio, they exist. Washington, D.C., they exist. For us to say, oh, well, I want us to be a leader in public health, but in this case, I'm not seeing how it's. And if you listen to Mr. Trevino's story about and his passion for his business, I don't believe he's trying to harm the youth. I think he's trying to open up a legitimate business, and we found a contradiction. And this is a way for someone designated as a cigar lounge to add on alcohol as sales. I don't see it being a slippery slope. I don't see it being abused. And I want to say that I truly appreciate the hard work that it took the group from Scan Who Speak from 2006. I didn't live here, but I was living in another community that was going through this around the same time, because this was a time when that change was happening. But I do feel like this is a different situation. And I don't see how it opens up floodgates as the concern is out there. But it was mentioned by one of the professors, Dr. That you know that document is sacred, and I can understand why with all the hard work that must have gone into it. I guess I'm not seeing how this goes against that as it relates to bars, restaurants. Especially with how difficult it would be to become this status. So that's and as far as private clubs, I was looking into the TABCs. A private club also has to be a nonprofit. From what I was understanding, Zone, if you want to correct me on that.
Yes, the membership owns the club, yes.
Yeah, so you also would be forcing the business owner to become a nonprofit if you make him become a club, and so that's another thing. So.
Yeah.
Mayor, if I may?
Before we do that, I'd like to call Dr. Chamberlain up, see if he can give us some insight.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Comes up, Mayor. Is there a way, Zone, for us to require signage so that, for example, to address some of the concerns that they brought up as far as you go into an establishment, you're all of a sudden now there's this fear that there's going to be like smoking inside. Is there a way that these cigar lounges could be required to have signage that says you're entering a cigar lounge, there is smoking inside, the establishment has HVAC systems or whatever, just so people know that they're walking into an indoor smoking facility? Bars wouldn't have that, right? So at least people can know that the difference, because maybe somebody wouldn't know. Like, it's kind of a technicality.
It's already part of it. It's there. It is.
Okay.
It is going to say 21 years and older only, smoking in there, and it will state no vaping, no cigarettes. It's only cigars because they're not the same thing. They really aren't.
All right, Dr. Chamberlain.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. My role in this discussion is not to weigh in on any specific business venture, but to stand before you as a diplomat of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine and your public health director. Lifestyle medicine emphasizes the avoidance of harmful and risky substances, including tobacco and excessive alcohol use. Both are leading contributors to preventable disease, and when combined, especially in indoor environments, the health risks are amplified not only for patrons, but for employees and the broader community. From a public health standpoint, any policy change related to smoking and alcohol should be narrow, carefully defined, and highly enforceable. I appreciate Council's thoughtful approach to this issue and stand ready to support solutions that balance regulatory clarity with our responsibility to protect community health.
All right, thank you. Zone, what would happen if the establishment sells more than 50% alcohol and a cigar?
You could revoke the SUP.
Mayor, if I may just ask a question to clarify. So if a vaping shop, Iram Tellez for the record, Pastor Iram Tellez, if a vaping shop installs that vacuum system and invests in that, can they sell liquor then?
No.
That's my concern.
No, because they need to come to us for an SUP. That's not gonna happen.
Okay, that's my concern, that if you change the ordinance,
Right.
now it's free for all.
Sure.
Because, if it's a businessman that is looking to make money, you'll hire an attorney and he'll see, it's changed, the amendment, that's my concern, not, the cigar or, if they sell the 50%, that's a business that I believe it's already, they already have cigar lounges here, but the concern is that if it changes, or my concern is if they change the city ordinance, other business should come and say, you know what, I'll invest in, that's what it's all about. Businessmen invest to make more money. And my concern is that those vaping shops are, more frequently visited by younger of our community members. And even if it's older communities that smoke, what we do in our community is for men, women, family, adults, because what we're trying to prevent, or what I see working with the problem that we have with drug addictions and drug addicts and people that have addictions is that they started when they were young. So what we're trying to do is to prevent when they're young, so we don't have to do that hard work when they're older. You know, they don't do that. And the vaping shops, it's a youth magnet that if they change that ordinance and they could install, you know, whatever, now it's gonna be, you know, even a worse problem with those vaping shops.
Let me speak just on my behalf, my opinion. If that were to happen, as far as, because I know how bad it is with children and vaping, I would certainly say no. Those businesses would have to come to us specifically and ask for SUPs for that to happen. And as far as my opinion is concerned, absolutely not, because I think our children are extremely important and we need to keep them away from that as much as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to make one last comment on that.
Yeah, go ahead and ask your question.
Dr. Christopher Craddock. So, you know,
Go ahead.
if a vape shop decides to meet every rule and requirement to become a tobacco specialty retail store, and you're saying that you would say, well, we wouldn't allow it. If they meet all the rules, you're telling us you would just approve the business owner that's here. Any business that meets the requirements and applies to be a tobacco specialty retail store, puts in all the requirements for the HVAC, meets every, and for you to say, no, we're not gonna approve you because we just don't think you deserve it. I mean, it's about discrimination, and it goes back, they can definitely do it, and they'd be able to sell alcohol. And just wanna point out, in your definition that you came up with, you're doing it over a 3-month average. So these stores could sell over 50% for 3 months, and then that's the question, this is where it goes back. What's the penalty? The ordinance will be flawed. The minute that you change that definition, you're gonna have to change so many other things. That's why we're asking, table the issue, let us have some workshops, let us dialogue with you. There should be no reason to be afraid to talk to the community. You haven't. You've only talked to the business owner. Give a community, I've never talked to you, you've never talked to me. You haven't replied to my email, so I'm just saying, give us a chance.
I've received an email from you, sir.
I think
first and
that's the point, and on your system, I want to point this out. When you send an email that says, do you want a copy, confirmation, it doesn't work, all the people have said it. I've sent you numerous emails to every single one of you. I don't know if anybody, I was told by the assistants that you got them. Every single assistant, I asked, and they told me that every single one of you got the messages.
Yeah.
So the point is, you've talked to Mr. Torino numerous times. In person, give us a chance to dialogue with you. That's what we're asking. His business is going. It's not like he's not being able to sell cigars and have people smoke. Give us like 30 days, do the public workshops, let's dialogue it, and we understand how you want to balance it. But the fact is, he can go into business doing everything he wants to tomorrow. And he was talking about the membership fees, and just want to point it out again real quick.
Melissa Ramirez for the record.
This is the business in, this is the business in Corpus, and these are their membership fees. I don't know if this kind of start showing. Going back to the cost, this is in Corpus Christi, Texas. It's been open for 5 or 6 months. So they're
Yeah,
charging.
they do have the visiting member, which is a one-time fee, $20 for individual or $30
So
with a spouse.
if you decide, 2 or 3 times a month you want to go, you pay the $20 or $30, you go in there, and you can do smoking and drinking, and eating if you want to.
Then they also have the 3-month membership
go ahead.
for $150 for 3 months.
And you can, yes.
Dr. Craddock,
Yes.
it's a huge difference from a vape shop to a cigar lounge.
No,
It's
but
an enormous difference
but
because the vape
you're
shops.
opening the door.
Well, let me finish up.
Yes, okay.
The first part is it allows 18-year-olds to go in there, first of all, in a vape shop. This is not gonna allow that.
I'm not saying that. I said they're changing it to the
Moreover,
back.
we are adults. Once you're at the age of 18, you're an adult. And you make the choice, whether you wanna step in there or
But you're not old enough
not.
to
Whether
smoke.
but you're old enough when you're 21.
You have to be 21 to smoke or vape in Texas. That's the state law.
You can.
You have to be 21 years of age.
That's my
to
point.
purchase
And
or
this
consume.
particular type of establishment is going to be exactly that. It's for an adult. And they're personal choices that we make, sir. Like I just mentioned earlier, there's terrible food for us. There's Mexican food for us every day that I eat every single day. And I know it's terrible for me. Tamales, for instance. I love those things. They're terrible for me. But I eat them all the time. Are we gonna start just controlling that also? Because I need to lose weight?
It goes back to work.
Personal choice. It goes back to
It's not-
personal
it's about
choices.
protecting workers. Let's just say this. If he only has 5 employees, just say that. 5 people that work, you're gonna say, well, they choose to work there. Going back, they're working and smelling secondhand smoke that's deadly. If we have 10 of these open, it's 50. If we have 20, it just expands. You can easily, and it's protecting workers. You can say, well, don't work there. That was the whole reason, when we put it in, we wanted to protect all workers and all bars, all restaurants. You're opening the door. If his model works, I'm a vape shop and I'm selling a little bit, I can apply to be a tobacco specialty retail store legally, put in HVAC, and I can start selling alcohol. You're then having smoking in public places.
You're restricted, Mr.
He's allowed
Craddock.
to do it right now.
Yes, right
It
now
can
he
be a
is, you're
private
right, because of where he's situated.
Yes.
But fact of the matter is, vape shops can't just open up and start selling alcohol because of where they're
The
at.
point is, smoking. in
The
his-
city of Laredo has ordinances that restrict that from happening.
Is it, would his place be a public place?
Yes?
Okay, no smoking in public places. That's the title of the ordinance. Keep it that way. There's no reason to go back to 2006, period.
You're going specifically for that, to smoke. That's what you're going for.
But he's going around it, he's wanting to sell, with the minute that he sells alcohol, y'all can use whatever mental linguistic gymnastics you want to. It's a bar, it's a lounge, it's a cocktail lounge, it's a club. Any common sense person, when they look at it and they say, oh, do they sell alcohol in there? You can drink in there? Yeah. Can you smoke in there? Yeah. What is it? It's a bar where you can smoke. It's smoking in public places. Which it is. You said it yourself. And you said back in I'm going to read your own words. Give me 1 second. There was a comment that you made. Give me a second. I have to find it. Right here. This one. Okay. And November 17th meeting, these are your quotes. This is not me reading it. This is verbatim what you said. I've spoken to the owner, Mr. Trevino, about it several times. And it says, if we allow this to happen with alcohol and smoking, every other bar is going to ask for the same thing. And there will be no recourse for us to say no. We won't be able to. Right now, we're abiding by the law. It is the law. The issue with this is we're violating the health and safety code. It's a public place. Why do you want to go back so far? Y'all did such an awesome thing, putting the electronic smoking devices. It just doesn't make sense. And y'all have so many issues that you raised. Like I said, if you make this one change, we're going to be back here asking you for several changes in the fines and penalty section. And you don't even define what a smoking establishment is in the Code of Ordinances. You have that in the Land Development Code. There's going to be so many flaws. That's what I'm saying. You need to really think about this, because the minute you do that, you're not going to be able to enforce this, because there are no fines and penalties for the alcohol portion when he violates that, if it happens. That's all I'm saying. You need more time to think about this. Y'all are trying to do a quick fix to let one business owner, that's what we don't get. It's not like you have 20 business owners coming to you. You have one person asking to change this. So you're willing to risk, it seems like to us on public health, the profits of one business owner over the entire public health in the community. Is baffling to me, mind-blowing. So please, the ordinance doesn't say no smoking in public places except, it just says except tobacco specialty retail stores, but it doesn't say smoking establishments. That's not in there. It's going to be flawed, so you need to think about it. We're asking, please, just schedule a public workshop, give us a chance to dialogue. You've already talked to him since at least August, we know, because he sent a letter to you. You said you haven't seen my emails? Just don't be afraid to at least have a discussion. And then when you come back and make your decision, we'll say, it's informed, you heard both sides. That's what we're asking for. And whatever you decide, of course, we'll live with it. But then we may, in the future, say, no matter how it is, we might try to tighten it up again in the future. But right now, y'all don't have all the information. Dr. Chamberlain gave you a little bit of information. We have a lot more we would like to give. We'd like to dialogue on it instead of just making a decision right now. Another 2 weeks or 4 weeks wouldn't hurt.
Go ahead, I've been waiting for you to speak already. So, number one question on the mechanical engineering side, what are you bound by, I'm not speaking to the owner, are you bound by any engineering specs to put the type of ventilation system that you're gonna need?
Once again, Jeronimo Trevino, for the record, absolutely, yeah, the MEPs are there.
Yeah.
ERVs were recommended, and it was significant cost, and I presented it when I first applied for my special use permit.
The smoke heaters are meant for, to drastically reduce the amount of secondhand smoke that's in there.
Absolutely.
They're specifically made for that.
So there's
And so-
ERVs, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm also adding the smoke eaters with the charcoal filters to address the odors.
Right.
So there's different mechanisms in place, because the goal is to be smoke-free. When you walk in, you're not gonna walk into a cloud of smoke.
Right.
Okay, it's supposed to be smoke-free. That's the entire vision, that's the plan. I'm investing the money to do so. I believe it's more detrimental to ask my patrons to stand 10 feet away from a door and having the secondhand smoke blowing into establishments, as you walk into a business. It's all contained, it's taken care of. The air that it's being released is gonna be filtered air, it's clear, it's clean already. Once coming in with the ERV is fresh air. I mean, there's not very many, if at all, regular businesses with this type of ventilation system.
Right, right. So now, first of all, I just wanted to commend you because you've been coming out here for almost a year already. And from day one, I knew you were doing your due diligence on this. I know nobody wants to go into business thinking that, how can I circumvent the process? You did your homework. You put everything into play. It's been out there. This is what, your fourth time that you're here? More or less, 4 or 5. So, and no disrespect to you all, because I'm totally against the public smoking part of it also, but I do agree with you having the right to open your establishment, given all the due diligence that you put to it, and all the money you've already invested to it. So I don't think that any public hearing or 30-day stalemate is, I mean, are you gonna have more information out there that's gonna try and change your mind to not open it? Is this what we wanna do? I think if we have more public sessions like this, it'll be for something else that might happen. You're following the rules. I would suggest that we start having conversations about how do we prevent vape shops from doing the same. And then so just so everybody will know, the city of Laredo, the SUP will not deter him from or shut him down if he goes above 51%. TABC will shut you down, not us. You don't follow the strict rules, and let me put it very clearly. TABC is very strict when it comes to these policies. They will hunt you down, and they will get you on an audit, and they will shut your business down if you don't follow the 51% rule or the 50% rule. So I just don't see any, me personally, like I said, not a smoker, but I'm just I'm just very impressed with the process that you have to have gone through to do this, to make sure that you're following every rule that we have set as far as all the ordinances are concerned, and you're doing it only to satisfy one section of society that wants it in their lives. And so, again, everybody, with the work that SCAN does and all the people from over there do is absolutely needed. I'm 110% behind them. But in this particular case, I'm with Mr. Gutierrez in saying, look, you've already come over here. We've set a bunch of hurdles in front of you, and you've jumped them all. And I'm thinking that if it set you back one more month to try and have more conversations about telling you not to open, I think is detrimental to you personally. So I think if anything that we need to do is have the conversations how to keep other establishments that are vape shops and all those type of things from getting to the position where you're gonna be. But as far as I'm concerned, you've done all your due diligence, and I just commend you for that.
Mayor, if I may, with that thought, can we just add an amendment that this is for cigar sales only? Vape shops wouldn't even be able to apply. And I think that'll take care of everything else. Cigar sales only.
You want to amend
That's the
it?
amendment for the approval of number 19.
Could I question?
Yes.
Council, or the restriction? Is that to restrict the ability also of the cigar lounge to sell vape products?
Correct, yes. Cigar lounge, cigar sales only.
Absolutely, yeah, I don't want
Pure
vapes, it's not part of the plan, I don't want it, it's not allowed in there. If I see somebody smoking a vape or a cigarette, I will ask them to step outside, stop, whatever the case may be, but it's only for one product. And tobacco shops are not the same thing as cigar lounges, they're just not. Tobacco shops sell vapes, they sell other products. And they themselves have a 45% sales restriction as well. That's something that you can look at to, stopping smoking. Tobacco shops coming up everywhere. Like I said, there's 2 dozen of them throughout the city. And I can offer help now. Since 2015, there was an ordinance that modified the land chart zoning, and it required them to be in B4, M1, or M2, just kind of like what smoking establishments are. And that's just not the case. Somehow it got overlooked, and that's why they've been popping up everywhere. And that's a question that you can ask. Like you said, we should be talking about that, having that conversation, because there's been a lot that have slipped through the cracks.
Mayor, ma'am?
Yes.
And I just want to clarify what my friend, Councilmember Garza was saying. I do believe when we're talking about following the rules, he is doing his research, but he proposes a change to our rules. The current rules that exist now would allow his business to continue under that private club setup. It would be different because, as I understand, the membership and the sale of alcohol has to be private. In other words, the business is not allowed to make money from the alcohol if it's set up as a private club. So that the focus really is just cigar sales, and that the business, the percentage of sales from cigars is higher than the 50%, it would have to be 60%. So it is to encourage that really it is all about cigars and joining this club to enjoy your cigar, and the alcohol really is secondary. It's just a more minor thing. So under our current ordinance, he could open his business in that manner. Not to say that you haven't done your research, but it is not the city that is preventing you from opening a business. It is that you would like a modification to what you would be allowed to do under our current ordinance.
Not necessarily, because the definition's already there. They exist in the SUPs. It's just that there's been a misinterpretation between the Code of Ordinance and the Land Development Code definition of bar. Because once again, I'll stand by it, I'm not a bar. I never wanted to be a bar, nor will I ever be a bar. And we need to stop, like I said earlier in the presentation, not everything is a bar. We need to kind of
Right, but
switch that.
I believe the distinction here is public place versus private place. And the health ordinance is really to try to protect those public places, and as was stated, the workers who work in public places. So that's the distinction I think that we were trying to make in passing that ordinance before my time. But your
Nothing would change
business-
from that ordinance, though. Bars are still prohibited. They've always have been, and they always will be. I'm not a bar. Tobacco realty specialty stores have always been exempted since day one, even when this thing was passed. They were allowed because that was the only business out of all of them, restaurants, the entire thing, that sold tobacco. So they couldn't eradicate them. They left them in place. They've always been exempt. It's just that this is something, that's unfamiliar. We're not used to it, but I'm not changing anything. It's always been there.
Mayor, motion to close and approve. All right, there's a motion.
With the amendment.
Second, I have a question. If this passes, will a workshop be needed to address some of the other specifics? We add that?
It's up to council, but as far as this direction, I believe you're voting to pass the amendment, the change to the definition of bar under the health safety code, the health code, and then you want to also restrict it to only cigar lounges, which, to be honest, it may require changing other
Only
sections. which we
sales
will.
of cigars.
Right.
Only sales of cigars, that's it.
All right.
I understand your purpose. I'm saying that it may require bringing back another ordinance.
It will need a new definition. Yeah.
There is a motion
And a second.
and a second. Who has a question? Yeah. Call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
How many of those? One.
Wait, we're in favor.
In favor. All in favor?
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Against? Three. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next item. I'd like to bring number 55.
Second.
Vote on it? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 55, discussion with possible action on Central Laredo Management District, CLMD, and any matter related thereto. The reason for this item on the agenda was because I received several phone calls from the downtown business owners that were concerned about this new tax. I explained to them that this CLMD entity is a separate entity from the city, and it was passed through the state legislation. And if they wanted to hear more about it, how it functioned, to come to city council today so we can get them informed on CLMD plans. Knowing that, I still believe that the public should be informed as to what goes on their districts and give their input. With that said, my first motion is that we hear presentations, and we will be able to request a workshop where we can discuss any concerns in detail. Motion second?
Could I ask, just to clarify, is this in addition to, or different from the workshops that we've had on the other downtown strategies? And there was one on a vacant building ordinance. Is that gonna wrap up a lot of these issues, or is it very specific to one
This
thing?
is different, this is just about the tax.
Mayor, they're actually separate issues. They coordinate together, but they're actually still separate. So the Central Management District is an entity that has a specific.
Is there a way we can amend it and just add that part to the same workshop?
Yeah.
Add them both to one?
Yeah, there's no problem dealing with them all.
You'll accept the amendment?
Yes.
All right.
Motion second.
There's a motion and a second.
Call for the question.
All in favor?
Aye.
Two public comments, Mayor.
Any comments?
There were two public comments.
Oh,
Mayor.
sorry,
Thank you.
okay. It's, Julian Retonowski, number 55.
Mayor, council members, Julian Rutnowski for the record. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today about the Central Laredo Municipal Management District, also known as the Business Improvement District, and its importance to the future of downtown Laredo. I want to start with context. This district is not new. Council created it in 2013 because downtown requires tools that are different from the rest of the city. At the time, First Service Plan was contemplated. Total assessed value within the district was approximately $345 million. For most of its existence, however, the district was effectively dormant, no services, no assessments, no ability to act. During the same period, downtown did not stabilize, it declined. Today in 2025, the total assessed value within the management district is approximately $152 million. That's a nearly $193 million loss and a 56% drop in just over a decade. That is not market noise. It reflects declining confidence, rising vacancies, deferred maintenance, and a downtown that has been losing ground, not gaining it. Only this past year did the district finally become operational. We adopted a service plan, seated an active board, and began assessing, because without assessments, a management district cannot function. I want to be very clear about what the assessment is and what it's not. This is not a tax imposed by the city. These funds do not go to the city's general fund. This is downtown property owners organizing themselves under state law to fund services that directly benefit downtown. Those services are clearly defined in the adopted service plan. They include enhanced cleaning and maintenance, coordination of public safety, parking initiatives, and lightning maintenance. The board is accountable for delivering those services, and property owners can see where every dollar goes. This model is proven. Business improvement districts like this one are widely regarded as one of the most effective tools in stabilizing or revitalizing urban cores because they are targeted, self-funded, and accountable. These services are not abstract. They are budgeted, implemented, and reviewed annually. I also want to acknowledge concerns that have been raised. Anytime a district moves from inactive to operational, especially when assessments begin, there will be skepticism. That is expected. But it's important to separate anecdote from data. To date, the district has received 31 signed petitions of support representing approximately 91 properties and $78 million in assessed value in downtown Laredo. That represents a substantial share of the remaining taxable value downtown. That does not mean every owner agree.
3 minutes, Mayor.
If I may continue.
Go ahead, Fisher.
Thank you. That does not mean every owner agrees to every detail, but it does mean there is meaningful, measurable support for allowing the district to operate and be evaluated on performance. I will also want to briefly clarify a broader point about assessments. The city has discussed programs that include fees related to vacant properties. Those funds flow into the city's general fund and do not get reinvested directly into the downtown or into additional services. The management district operates differently. Every dollar assessed through the district stays in downtown. Every dollar follows the adopted service plan, and every dollar is overseen by a board of downtown stakeholders who are directly accountable for results. This is not about whether fees exist, it's about local control, transparency, and reinvestment. After nearly 10 years of inactivity, this district has just begun operating. As a board member, I'm here to answer any questions council may have. Thank you very much.
Any questions?
I have a question, Mayor.
Go ahead.
For Zone. Does this, entity have foreclosure power for people, for businesses who don't pay?
Yes, it does.
And what is the process of foreclosure?
I'm not an attorney, so I can't speak on those.
But you're a board member, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so the board would be the one to initiate the foreclosure process, correct?
I'm assuming if they're not paying the assessment, the taxes can be collected through foreclosure.
Okay, yeah, because what I'm understanding is very similar to like a homeowner association that can foreclose on people's homes for not paying. So I just wanted to clarify.
Point of order, can we get legal, Mayor, can we wait for legal for that clarification?
Well, usually board members would know because it's in their bylaws.
All right.
No, it's fair.
Okay. Any other question in the meantime?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Mr. Rotnowski, so it seems as if this business improvement district has just finally gotten started, finally assessing these or collecting these assessments in order to move forward. So suffice to say, you've never encountered a situation where you would pursue foreclosure?
No, we haven't done so.
Okay, and that the business improvement district, I understand, I mean, we see this, the council sees the agendas run across our announcements. So are they open to the public, or is it just for the board members? 'Cause I
They
know that-
are. So they are open to the public, and if I can do a slight plug, because right now we don't have administration like you all have. We've been trying to, at least since we weren't getting any funding, function efficiently. I actually took it upon myself pro bono. I created a website. So anyone listening, it's Laredo Central, the centrallaredobid.com, and you can go on there and you can actually subscribe to get a mailer of our posted board meetings, and they're also posted here at the city. The city staff assists us with posting it outside also.
And has the bid developed projects that have been implemented at this stage, or is that upcoming?
So the exact process of getting to the assessment is you have to first develop an initial service plan. And I know there's other board members here that can speak upon that, but I'm not sure if council remembers, I think it was mid-2024, we had the Downtown Summit. That was us working with the city and other stakeholders, including Main Street, on basically getting feedback on our proposed service plan, which we then adopted. Once that plan is adopted, which I will totally add, could be amended at any point, depending on the feedback of our constituents. Once that's adopted, that's what we go out and get signatures for. So no one just signed a petition saying I'm in favor of an assessment. It's actually attached to the service plan. So all the petitioners that signed are well aware of the services that we provided in the service plan.
All right. Yeah, there was a question that Zone needed to answer.
Yeah, I apologize.
Can I ask it to him?
Ask it again, please.
Zone, so, this entity has foreclosure power, and Mr. Rofnowski confirmed that. Who has the terms for that? Because that's a big alarm bell for me, because those of you that remember, before I got on council, I had fought specifically for an abusive homeowner association board that was foreclosing people's homes for not paying dues. So what they would do is, let's just say they raised the dues, you got behind, then they would tack on attorney fees. They would tack on attorney fees and late fees and all kinds of fees. So really, when the homeowner owed like maybe $1,000, they had to pay $5,000, $10,000 and all these fees just to get out of it. Then when they initiated the foreclosure, they would start tacking on those fees as well. Like, a bunch of people ended up losing their homes because of this. And I am hesitant to go down that same route where you're tacking on assessments for good purposes, great intentions, just like an HOA, everybody's supposed to do their part and contribute. However, sometimes people fall behind, and there are predatory practices that I've experienced with these types of entities that use these little trip-ups to kind of, oh, gotcha, and now I'm taking your property. What safeguards do we have to prevent that from happening for these business owners?
Well, as far as the law goes, I mean, if you're gonna have assessments and, you know, you have to have that enforcement mechanism, and enforcement mechanism under 375 local government code is to tag on interest on the assessments, which could lead to liens on the property, and which could lead ultimately to foreclosure.
Is there a threshold, like a minimum amount that you have to be in arrears, or can they do it even just for $1? Because I know some homeowner associations, even if you're late $1, they can start, you know, the process of trying to get your home.
By statute,
Is there a threshold?
By statute, there's no threshold.
So if somebody's late $1 on their fees, theoretically, I'm not saying you're doing this, okay? I'm just please understand this is part of my not so happy past of experiences, that people have lost their properties because of this type of structure. And if, let's say you have a downtown business owner who for whatever reason doesn't agree with paying into this board, they choose not to pay because they're frustrated, they don't know where their money's going, which is a frequent, you know, problem we have with homeowner associations. Where's my money going? I don't see the maintenance, whatever. They don't agree with it. Then they refuse to pay. Now you're slapping on a lien, slapping on foreclosure. They lose their property. Who gets the property? Does the management district become owner of the property, or does it go to auction? And does it get sold and then recover the fees? How does it work?
Well, yes, that would be just the mechanism. I know he's giving me some more information from the statute, but that would be the rules of that board, right? So I mean, they take over the property, they can auction it off. They're going to be the owners if they're taking it from.
And that's all because the owner doesn't pay.
Yes.
And there's no minimum amount.
It's an assessment.
So the business is being held hostage, which is exactly what I was against. I don't like these types of structures for those types of reasons. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying they don't have their purpose. I just don't like the foreclosure component to it. Is there a way that we can mitigate that?
Well, the board can establish these minimum thresholds.
Yeah, what I can speak on, at least as an individual board member, is that is nowhere close to our goal, because I can tell you right now, I don't know about HOAs when residential, but to take a predatory practice like that would essentially be hurting the downtown, because it would be taking buildings away, making more vacancies. That is not our mission at all. So I can pretty much promise, as an individual board member of myself, we'll go deeper into how we can lay out those procedures. Our goal is for the community in the downtown to all have buy-in together. I think there's a difference between predatory practices like you're highlighting, which I'm sure do exist in the real world, versus us, which we are essentially, we're an extension of the state. That is not, this is an economic development tool. Everything you're saying sounds more like how I wouldn't even say HOA, but maybe a property management company could take advantage of the whole situation. That's not how we're structured. We are board members that are appointed by council.
Mayor, if I may?
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, Mr. Rafnowski, the property management company doesn't have the authority to do that, it's the board. The board would, but.
I'm sorry, you brought up fees, that's the only reason.
In the HOA, I'm talking about, like, it's not the management company that does those predatory practices, it's the board that does it, right? But what I'm saying here in this case is that for this entity, I would like to see some safeguards against those types of things, as far as how do you treat people who don't pay? What is the threshold before you actually initiate the foreclosure? What is the purpose in terms of like getting cooperation, and then how do you handle the ones that don't pay? I think I would want to see those types of terms hashed out, because you might be a well-intentioned board member, but it all depends on who serves on these boards. The next round, it could be somebody else with different, ideas and say, you know what? They don't want to pay, foreclose, and let's get their property and we'll sell it and we'll get rid of them, kind of deal. And forgive me, I'm not accusing anyone of doing this or anything. I'm just saying that the structure would be there for that, and that's something I've experienced over the years. I've seen it.
I would just highlight to that extreme that you're saying, if that is what this board started to do, the ultimate power is the council can dissolve us, if that's what we're doing. So if there is some comfort in the fact that if what happens, or in theory, like you're saying, this board becomes evil and takes predatory practices that this council thinks are predatory, the council does have the ultimate power to dissolve us if we do something like that, which I will highlight once again. That would go directly against our mission, because if we are taking businesses out, that hurts, that hurts us as a district. I always like to relate downtowns, when malls were built in the 70s and 80s, they completely dominated because they were essentially these enclosed ecosystems where all the property owners essentially, or not the property owners, but the tenants work together with this whole managing factor. This is a way for downtowns to operate very similarly with marketing plans, with cleaning the common areas. That is the ultimate goal of the business improvement district, is to improve business. And that's what I'll say to that. But I completely understand your concerns.
Mayor?
All right,
Mayor, if I may?
go ahead.
Okay, so this was created in 2013 with council ordinance, but ultimately started by the business owners downtown?
It was a petition to the business owners, to the city and the state. The city took it to the state and basically got it.
And how many signatures were needed to create it? Or to petition?
That was before my time. I don't honestly remember how many.
And then basically since then, it's kind of sat dormant up until a few years ago.
I think council started reappointing seats in mid to late 2023. And then we finally really started meeting December 1st of 2023.
So this is similar to a public improvement district, a PID, correct?
Yes, and so there is
which only benefits the boundary, the property owners or of the boundary which it sits in.
The public improvement district. So public improvement.
Bids and pits have that in common, correct?
They do have commonalities. Public improvement districts, like what you see in San Antonio. I don't know if council members have been downtown in San Antonio. You see those yellow vests. That's their public improvement district. They assess both residential and commercial properties. So basically, pretty much everything in their downtown. We are different in the sense where residential properties are considered 4 units and less. We assess multifamily and commercial only.
Okay, go ahead.
Could you just highlight a couple of and might I suggest bringing up the issue about the HOA was one of my concerns, when I spoke to Justin about that. But it certainly seems to me that, or at least that I'm concerned, I don't know about anybody else, that I'm glad that the item came up, because I think we need more clarity, or I need more clarity as to what you're gonna do or what it is. And I look forward to sitting down with you all to get a better understanding on how this is gonna happen, or how it's been happening, and sort of to push it, to get momentum, whether we move forward with it. The things that I liked, that I spoke to, that I gathered, were the involvement that you have by having your own people clean the downtown area, not waiting on city services to get it done, beautifying the area in any way, any means that you need. And plus, and most importantly, is the safety factor that you all will provide by doing this. So there's a lot of upside to this. And only because right now, as it sits downtown on the weekends, all the bars that are open down there, it takes away our police from where they need to be over there. And having this improvement district in there would allow for security, your own security, to be monitoring that and bring our police as needed. And so there's a lot of upside to it. There's probably more upside that I'm thinking of that I don't know about. but I'm certainly wanting to know a little bit more as we move forward. And I think this council will benefit from more information as we move forward with that.
And I really do appreciate council putting this on the agenda, because for us, what we're truly trying to also be is a conduit for the constituents in our district, but also, like you said, working with the city, because I think the city is a little busy with a lot of different services they provide. And what a municipal management district and a business improvement district is us essentially creating that little, board of our own to work strictly for the benefit of the downtown stakeholders. If I can just briefly highlight to your point, how we can operate and how imaginative it can become and beneficial. At our last meeting that we just had, a constituent came basically, and I had no idea because I am a property owner myself. I'm not a business owner, so I'm not there constantly during the hustle and bustle, but we were notified that vagrants are posting up at city parking lots and private parking lots and pretending to be attendants and collect money from people and saying, it's $20 to park here. And if they didn't pay, they'd slash their tires. So we just were notified of this, I think a week ago. So what I immediately did, and I'd like to commend, my God, let me see his name, the assistant chief. He's been talking to us. He's given us a liaison, so we're gonna work closely with the police to see how that can be solved. Now that's just communication-wise, constituents showing up to these meetings and talking about issues. But on a truly effective side, one of the things that we discussed as a board is we are allowed to enter into public-private partnerships. So what we discussed is the fact that, here's this issue. We have these opened up parking lots. Thank you to the city, because they used to be closed at night. So it helps the nightlife and it benefits and adds a little bit of security. But obviously the city can't put attendants there. There's private lots that usually get gated up, because once again, it's not really beneficial for those owners to put attendants there. But what we can do is enter into P3s with either the city and also the private constituents to put business improvement district and do profit shares where we're managing these properties and activating parking for the downtown, which I'm sure any downtown property owner that's here is listening knows the most aggravating thing is parking. That's one of the things we're working on in our service plan. And that was one thing that was discussed, which we're discussing that alone tackled security and parking. And those are the things we're working towards. So if there's an ask, at least from me as a board member, is truly allow us to operate and work with our constituents and connect us to them. Like I said, I appreciate you having this meeting because it brings it out and people know to go online so they can know where to show up at these meetings. We host them here. So, and Justin, we established a schedule for this year. It's,
yes.
Can you remind me?
Sorry, Justin Heather, Chair of Business Improvement District. We have
Justin,
had monthly meetings.
Justin, are
Yes,
you
sir.
going to speak also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Justin, Heather, item 55, go ahead.
We'll
Thank you.
bring you up for your public comment.
Yeah, for your public comment.
This will all work together. Justin Heather, again, Chair of the Business Improvement District. Thank you, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. We have had monthly meetings since January of 2024 when I took over as Chair of the Business Improvement District. We have a website. We have had, we established at our last meeting, the third Tuesday of every month will be our monthly meetings so that we do welcome individuals from the public to attend. Over the last several years, we've had several meetings outside of our monthly meetings with folks and received quite a bit of feedback. We've adjusted our plans that were ultimately adopted based on that feedback. As a certified economic developer, I can tell you that these tools are very important for revitalization of downtown. We've seen it in El Paso, we've seen it in Corpus, we've seen it in San Antonio with Centro San Antonio. So my, background as well as the experience we've had, we have several members of the Business Improvement District here today, as well as several members who have come to our meetings on a very regular basis. I get texts all the time from members downtown that ask about this or that. As Julian noted, LPD graciously attended our meeting in December, and they had 3 officers there that were very helpful, and were able to, I think, The most important thing to take away from today is that the city sought the creation of this in 2013. Instead of doing just a regular municipal management district under Chapter 375, we went to Austin. We had our own Central Laredo MMD created. We have now activated that statute, and the purpose of that statute is revitalization of downtown through supplementing city services. And, I think that, based on the conversations that we've had with the city over the past several years, I'm very hopeful that this organization will do that.
Mayor, if I
All
may?
right, go ahead.
Again, Mr. Heather, do you all have governing documents or founding documents that outline, the rules, the board, the jurisdiction? How are you gonna handle people that don't pay? How are you gonna handle foreclosures?
There's a statute that governs our operations. There are bylaws that we've adopted. There's an investment plan that we've adopted. We have not yet had a foreclosure or a tax lien because this is the first assessment. The assessments are, the lien is placed just like a tax lien. If the city could foreclose for $1, we could foreclose for $1. Not saying we're gonna do that, as Mr. Rotnowski noted, that would be counterintuitive to what our purpose is, which is to support downtown business improvement.
No, I completely understand. Like, I'm just saying that you can do it, right? Just because you won't do it doesn't mean you can't do it, right? And I think it's important to outline some of these things just because it can happen. It could happen. And, of course, just like with an HOA, the goal is that we're all gonna pay together and we're all gonna take care of our area and we're gonna have this beautiful common areas but there's a lot of people that don't wanna pay. They don't wanna pay their assessments. They don't believe in what the board is doing. They don't believe that they should have to pay an additional fee. And that's where you get problems. Like, you're not gonna get 100% participation. So how are you gonna handle the business owners that don't cooperate? That's what I would like to hash out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the things I may add to that, there was a lot of false information. People believe that this was an illegal tax. And the good idea is that you're putting this information forth, and I believe the council had passed it before. Is that true? The council had passed it before, they could do this kind of tax?
Well, as far as the central
Yes.
district, well, just the fact that, it was established by the state, and now I think we're geared up. But as far as authority, yes, the authority is there.
All right, so that depends on putting out that information, and people know it's not an illegal tax.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we of course welcome anyone, including members of city council, to attend any of our monthly meetings. Council member Figueroa has attended as a representative of District 8. I know that several council members were in attendance at our downtown summit in late spring of 2024. Packed house, probably because of the Chiefs, not us. But there is this is an open book on our end, and we followed public records requirements of posting, and the city has graciously been posting the videos for our meetings and helping us post the agendas for years. And so, if anybody has questions, I know that anyone on this board is more than welcome to answer those or to have those discussions.
And those videos and if I could just highlight those videos, the board meetings and our service plan are all on the website now, so you can see all that.
Yes,
All right.
Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So I'd like to reiterate what has been stated, and the fact is that we did approve the members of the board several years ago, so that way that the business improvement district could be activated. There's been and I would really like to thank every member involved for the work that they've done as volunteers. Everybody has a full-time job, and after over a decade, we're finally seeing the attention that the business improvement district deserves, and the support needed from the majority of the property owners. So most downtowns have adopted and activated, and the city has supported these initiatives decades ago. And you see Centro San Antonio, you go and you see the beautiful marketing and the flowers that are on the streets, and you hear the complaints in Laredo all the time. Why can't Laredo downtown have this? Why can't the city do that? Well, the fact of the matter is the city does not have the attention to detail or the focus to be able to have that kind of capacity for our downtown. And if we really want to see improvements, we welcome the conversation. We invited everybody to the focus group that the city, we brought down the International Downtown Association 2 years ago for the summit. We invited all of council to be part of the focus groups. We invited them to participate in the summit all day. Not everybody was there, and I understand, but the conversations have been happening. And again, we welcome more because we need to keep this at the forefront. But I would appreciate, again, come be a part of the conversation. I hope that we can continue to support and our downtown property owners and those that are truly putting in the effort, the research, bringing their expertise to the table.
Who was first?
I have.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate the comments, and of course, my goal is not to hurt the downtown, right? Like, the goal is to help. But again, in theory, this is a great idea, right? We have other places to do it. The kink for me, the devil is in the details. What do you do when people don't pay? How do you treat people who don't want to cooperate? We've not had anything like this before. And I can tell you right now that a lot of people are very hostile towards additional taxes. They're hostile towards additional fees. HOAs have high delinquency rates. A lot of HOAs choose not to foreclose. They make that choice. A lot of taxing entities choose not to foreclose. But then you end up with a bad board or a bad, committee, and they say, you know what, we have the power, let's just do it. And then you end up like all of a sudden now there's no way you're going to catch up because they're not going to waive any of the attorney fees. They're not going to waive the interest. There's no way you can pay it. So the lien's already there. You can't even take out a refinance on your property because they have a lien there. A lot of them will put liens, and a lot of people don't realize that when you have a lien on your property, you can't refinance. There's a lot of limitations that you have on your property now because of a lien. So just because you're not foreclosing doesn't mean that you're not also like putting these restrictive penalties on people. And here you have business owners that have been part of this area for a long time, have never had to pay this additional fee. Some of them might be struggling because, like you noted in your stats earlier, the downtown has decreased in value over the years. We just pumped in money into the TERS, which is unheard of, right? TERSs are not supposed to be getting like supplemented by government, fees. And so there's all these things that are happening with our downtown that we're all trying to help it come back and revitalize it. We're all trying to put our heads together. Again, I agree with what this board is trying to do in theory. My concern are the details, right? And those kind of workshops, those are not fun workshops like, hey, come and listen. Like, this is more of a council and board. Let's get together and hash out these details to make sure that some of these things don't happen to these people that don't want to participate or pay, and how are we going to treat them? Because that's not like a fun topic. But it's important for me that we hash those out because I can't support an entity with the power to take somebody's property.
All right.
Mayor?
Okay. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to thank you for your work. Council did establish this BID in 2013, and I do believe they understood what not only the mission was, but any taxing entity has an enforcement mechanism. The city does too. And, the argument is it's for the better good. So I hope that the discussion doesn't in any way malign the board, because we understand you're operating under what the statute tells you how to operate. And as Mr. Rapnowski made clear, the goal is to increase the ability for these businesses to attract customers. It is to revitalize our downtown. And BIDs seem to have been, business improvement districts have been very successful in San Antonio, in El Paso, even in Brownsville, I believe, yes. So we had I've attended these downtown workshops, and they're very interesting because they have so much hope and optimism. People who come and visit our city are so impressed with our downtown, even in the condition that it is in, because of its history. The buildings just give you that. And how do we reactivate those spaces? It takes money and attention, and it's something that cities need to leverage their resources in the community and enter into partnerships with something like a BID to make sure that work gets done. So I really commend you for the work that you're doing and appreciate it. And I think it's so important now because now we do have a major investment in downtown. So it makes perfect sense that the Business Improvement District chooses now to reactivate because we're gonna see change. And we want it to be in collaboration with city goals, with, of course, these business owners, how important they are, because they're everything. They're the key to getting a revitalized downtown.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for a workshop. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Go ahead.
May I move up item number 56? It's a small presentation as well.
Yes, go ahead.
Motion to move item number 56.
Second. Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you. Okay, so item number 56, discussion with possible action to support the 2026 Special Olympics opening ceremony to be held again at the Sames Auto Arena and any other matters incident thereto. And we have a small presentation from UISD this evening.
I'll make a motion to second. Make a motion to accept or to support the Special Olympics.
Thank
All
you.
right. We have a
Appreciate it.
motion?
There's a motion.
We have a second?
Yeah, so there's a motion, a second, just to
And
defer
we'll
for.
listen to the presentation.
All right.
Good evening, City Council. Good evening, Mayor. For the record, my name is Miguel Chavez. I'm a special education coordinator with United Independent School District. I know that many of us have, many job duties, just like myself, but there's always an item that, you take to heart. One of the things that you do in your profession, in your job, and this is one of mine that is one of my favorite things to do. Before I start, I want to thank each and every one of you because a year ago, we were here, my adopted PE coaches, which are my team and myself. We are big advocates for pushing inclusive settings for our students. As you know, our students with learning disabilities are growing every year. Our numbers are growing every year, and they don't have too many different activities to participate. I want to share with you all a couple of things that we do with United Independent School District. We have a fall and a spring Special Olympics, and we invite Jim Hogg, Zapata ISD, Harmony. Of course, United Independent School District is always the hosting district. The adult daycare centers, and of course, our Cherish Center that we have with United Independent School District. In the fall, which is usually in October or November, we have a bowling Olympics, and once again, we host it in the Jet Bowl. We service over 1,000 students, and they participate in their Special Olympics fall event, which is the Bowlathon. It's very tedious. We take long hours in planning this event, but it's very, very meaningful. Once again, we are the advocates of these students. We are in charge, my team and myself, of gathering volunteers and making sure that safety is number one priority for all of our students and, of course, all of our community. Our Special Olympics in the spring event, the reason that I am here is we traditionally have it in the SAC. And as you know, the heat is major. It's approximately 2 hours, maybe 3, that we have our opening ceremony. And whenever it's not extremely hot, sometimes we get thunderstorms. Laredo is so weird in reference to the weather. So unfortunately, this big planning for students sometimes, it's unsuccessful because of the weather. Last year, with that said, you all made a big difference, and I commend you all for that. Thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez, he was one of our one of our spokesperson for our event, and it was such an amazing event that we did for the community. As you all can see, the numbers are not little. We have it open for all of our parents, but more importantly, this event is for all of our students within our community. And we did it for the very first time, thanks to you all, at Sames Auto Arena. We planned one day before, we prepped up the entire stage, the entire arena, and make it very meaningful, not in the sun, under the AC, and it was such a great experience for, once again, our community of Laredo. Once we are done with the opening ceremony, we have 3 days of competition. We have adult daycare centers, and then we have middle school and high school, and at the end of the third day is elementary. We report to the SAC where our students compete in different track and field events. And there are some pictures where, they're competing, they get their medals, and once again, this is only for our different learning disability students. Moving forward, the last couple of weeks in March, we have, just the same way that we focus for our third, fourth, all the way to high school, and of course our daycare centers and our Cherish, we also have our event that is called the YAP, which is the Young Athletic Program. This focuses for kinder, first, and second grade students, so they participate in a similar event, but only for them. This year, once again, because we are growing so much, we're gonna have to be doing it in 2-day sessions, just for it to be more meaningful. But these are the events that we do, and we would want your support to make it one more time meaningful for our students. So thank you all for your attention, and once again, thank you all for your support.
Mr. Chavez, really quick, our council to know, do you have the cost that was last year and the cost that'll be this year, knowing that Mr. Jim Smith has been a great addition to our arena and works well, especially with nonprofit events?
Yes, last year it was 14,000, and once again, this was only for half a day. And this year, the exact amount for the cost is $17,050.
Okay.
So they increased.
Well, we know also, I'm gonna defer, and I'm gonna let Council Member Seattle offer her discussion. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the work that you do and the population that you serve. And I think it warms everyone's hearts here to hear of that work and how important we consider our children with special needs and their families. Is there a reason why LISD Performing Arts Center isn't a better venue for this?
The number of students that we service is over 1,200. It's
But
just
the size of the facility requires it to be, well, that's the only facility right now that could host such a large number?
correct, and those are very good questions, because I'll give you an example just so you all can understand. This is my 4th year in my position, and my first year when we did the Special Olympics fall event, traditionally we would always do it in the Jet Bowl, the Jet Bowl bowling alley, and they would always tell me, this is the way that it's always done. My first event, we had over 1,000, not, mind you, it's an event for the students. Parents go and see, parents go and support, social media, parents go and take pictures. The capacity is 655 approximately at we're violating a lot of, so the numbers are increasing, well, our numbers are always increasing, and for safety reasons, we want the best, we want to evolve with our numbers. We want to make sure that we give them, you know, the safety is number one. That's my number one priority. Sometimes I lose sleep because I want to make sure that I have more police department, more securities, more safety is number one. So the numbers are increasing. So, and I'll tell you exactly last year from one of our reps from Sames Auto Arena that they said, wow, we underestimated your event. We thought that it was going to be little. Oh, it's not little. It's a big event, and it's very meaningful once again for our families with students with different learning disabilities and different needs, and we want to pay attention to them. And this is my 4th year, and every year I want to make it better. Cada quien quiere dejar su granito de arena. So, thank you.
So, just at the amount that's being requested, and to management, I believe, if would the appropriate way to do this would be through promotional?
Well, no, let me go ahead and I appreciate Mr. Chavez's presentation. I know earlier this year, during the summer actually, and I commend the management for creating that special account for citywide, for citywide presentations such as these. I know we're 2 months away from half of the fiscal year, Mr. Neb. You gave each district $25,000 in specific for citywide projects such as these, right? I believe if divided by 9, if everybody is willing to participate on this great event for the children with disabilities from all over the city and actually surrounding areas. That's right, Mr. Chavez, for Hebronville and Bruni and all those areas as well. It would probably be around 1,800 of each of us from those $25,000 accounts from each district that the management had the vision of creating for events such these. Am I right, Mr. Knapp?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Mayor Pro Tem, if I may, real quick, excellent, thanks for the point. Also, I wanted to take the opportunity because it's at the same venue, right? We did the cook-off, and we asked for $1,000 when you all voted for each one of you all, because we have an outstanding invoice still pending from that event.
And that's why I remind my colleagues that we're 2 months away from half the year, the fiscal year, and I'm sure probably nobody has tapped into that account. Maybe, I'm not sure, but if that's the case, hopefully I ask for the support for this great event. Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right. So with that being said, I know there was a motion and a second. Just amend to divide by 9, which will be around $1,888
each one.
To be exact.
There you go.
Again, I thank my colleagues, and I know without challenging them, they will be there this year at the event, so they can see firsthand of such great things that you all do for our children and our students with disabilities.
Yes, definitely. Thank you also.
So, call for the question. There's a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, motion passes. Just remember the amendment for divided equally between 9. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Can we bring that down for 59?
Okay,
Mayor,
go ahead. Yes, sure.
May I bring up item number 59, please?
Definitely, yes. So there's a motion.
to bring 59?
Second.
Second to bring item number 59. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Item number 59.
Mr. Rick Gordon.
By Mr. Rick, Councilmember
Yes,
Ricardo.
I brought this item, it's status updated with possible action related to the Leche organization, translated into more like Elote organization, and the potential development of the Eastern Laredo Optimized Transportation Plan, and the letter of support for the city and any other matters therein. I wanted to just check to see what, I know there's been communication between both parties. I wanted to just get an update as to where we stand there from our city manager.
Mayor Pro Tem and City Council, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Chavez for a second because he's been working a lot closer with Elote for pulling together some information. So he has some updates, and then I'll kind of close it out from that.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Chavez.
Yes, Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, thank you. So yes, we have been in communication with Mr. James Gonzalez and Mr. Joe Gage, as it relates to this project. We did send out, an email, earlier, this month with some information that, we requested, through our office. And so I've been working together with, Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Gage, to get this information all together to our office.
Ultimately, so you're still having initial contact, long contact, to iron out all the little points that we need to get so we can create this partnership?
Yes, sir. So part of the information was to provide the defined scope and deliverables. We are looking also at property owner agreements that we're working with them. And so as of this morning, we were having conversations as well as to how they may present this information to us.
Okay, thank you.
And Mayor Pro Tem and City Council, yeah, just a little bit more background on this. We do believe that the Webb County is serving as the sponsor of this activity, this effort that we have. And all we're trying to do is actually work with Elote. Their job is an advocacy group, for lack of a better way to say that. And so they're actually helping pull all the teams together and everything. And so along with that information, they've been pulling that information together. I know they've went up and spoken with the state and the feds as well too, in order to talk about the transportation dollars that they're going to need for this vision. And so all we're doing is we're just trying to mark the boxes in order to get it done as quickly as possible for what they are presenting. I do know they have a draft interlocal agreement prepared as well too, and so we have been in contact with Webb County as well as the RMA in order to make sure that we're all in sync with what's being sought.
Okay. Before I guess we move forward with that, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the ongoing relationship that we have and take it to the next level and can create the necessary partnerships that we need to do. But with the stipulation that all the necessary documentation that is needed be done before we enter into any agreements.
Second. Second motion. There's a motion, there's a second. All in, go ahead, Councilmember.
I just wanted, we have Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Gage here, and I wanted to ask if there's anything that you feel that we need to know, or did our management team pretty much cover the bases?
Good evening, Council. James Gonzalez for the record. I'm the president of Leche. To answer your question, Councilman, the city manager's office has been extremely grateful in helping us understand the requirements necessary to assuage the concerns that they have. Right now, as Mr. Chavez mentioned, we are working to address their points, and we hope to have most of, I think, their points to them for review, of course, to Mr. Levin, legal, hopefully by the end of the week. We are working fastidiously to address their issues.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being
Thank you all.
All right, so there's a motion and a second to proceed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. I guess we're up to motion, items to bring up.
Just wanted to
planning and
thank
zoning.
everybody for their support. Thank you.
To bring up planning and zoning, items 12 through, and ordinances through 32, with the exception of 19 as already heard,
Actually,
or just a plan.
Mayor Pro Tem,
public hearing, ordinances 12,
number
13,
12?
14, and then we'll introduce, yeah, just those three.
12, 13, and 14. Is there a motion?
Second, this is just to bring them up, right?
To bring them up, yes, and be read to the record. A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. To the record. Go ahead, Mr. Secretary.
Yes. Number 12, public hearing and introductory ordinance amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 1.3 acres as further described by meets and bounds in attached Exhibit A located south of Avenida Los Presidentes and west of Lone Star Loop from R1 Single Family Residential District to B1 Limited Business District. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the proposed zone change, and staff supports the application. Number 13, public hearing and introductory ordinance readopting guidelines and criteria governing tax abatements by the city of Laredo in accordance with the requirements in section 312.002 of the Texas Property Code, providing for severability providing for an effective date of February 22nd, 2026 through February 21, 2028, and providing for publication. Number 14, public hearing and introductory ordinance amending Chapter 5 of the City of Laredo Code of Ordinances, Senate Bill 1008, enacted by the legislature of the state of Texas under Section 437.01235, and which became effective September 1, 2025, changes and/or effects the City of Laredo ability to charge certain food service establishments with liquor licensing fees. The City of Laredo currently charges liquor licenses fees to businesses that sell liquor in addition to food. This amendment formally incorporates the recent legislative changes into the city's code of ordinances by clarifying that as of the effective date of the new legislation, September 1, 2025, for the City of Laredo no longer charges any alcohol permitting fees to the following establishments under the following conditions. Number one, food service establishments with a valid health permit obtained from the City of Laredo Public Health Department. Number two, establishments that have already paid a fee to operate as a food service establishment to the Texas Department of State Health Services, DSHS, or any other local jurisdiction. This ordinance is also amended to update the list of permits and licenses and provide causes for denial and cancellation.
All right, so, for number 12, 13, and 14, for, 12. For number 12, for or against? For or against? For or against? Motion to close.
I have a comment. So this, may I be recognized? Thank you. So this item is in District 3. I don't know if we have the property owners here. So the intent of this zone change is to create the ability to open a gas station. And we are looking right now, for a new ordinance. It's just being discussed, so obviously it would have to pass. But that would put a buffer zone between the venting of any underground storage tanks, gasoline tanks, and the property line, the residential property line. And when we talked, in our recent past, we had a very controversial issue because we allowed zoning to occur way back in the day of accepted uses that could perhaps impact public health. Those uses, the property owner was allowed to normally go forward with them. Here, the property owner is asking for a zone change in order to create a gas station, and we should think about public health while they're doing that. So I would like to ask for a restriction of 100 feet buffer zone between the venting of the underground storage tanks. So this is not talking about preventing the business from opening. It's just that it has been found, and I've discussed this with the Environmental Services Director, that 100 feet boundary between the venting of those tanks and the property lines is enough to protect the health of people living in the adjacent homes that would abut this property.
Do we have anybody from?
Ms. Guerra can
Okay,
come in.
yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Guerra. Probably should let you explain it a
can
little
help
bit
me.
first.
This is actually a zone change, so that restriction, the 100-foot, would need an ordinance amendment to enact that. We can't put it here. So,
You can't have a restriction like
On a zone
a
change.
special use?
No.
Okay.
this is a straight-up zone change. So there's no conditions. That's not part of the ordinance. It's just plain Jane
Right.
zone.
If the ordinance is, I understand that an ordinance considering this item is being discussed right now, planning and zoning. If that ordinance were to pass, would that impact this zone change, or would it be quote-unquote grandfathered in?
I'm gonna say,
Most likely be grandfathered in. I mean, whatever enactments will go prospectively into the future.
we've looked it up, the vesting happens under the state code at the time of the submittal of the permit. So once they submit the building, any kind of building permit, that does grant very specifically under the state code vesting.
Okay. Then for that reason, I'd like to move to table the item so we don't come into conflict with a public health item that could impact owners that are, their backyards will abut this proposed gas station.
Second. There's a motion and a second to table. We have, yes, sir?
I'm a representative of the applicant. I'm the Circle K.
Oh.
We are the one that submitted for the rezone.
You want to retract the tabling so we can?
Yes, I'll retract the tabling, I apologize.
All right, then, second motion and original motion will be retracted. Sir, did you sign up?
I did not. No, I just came just in case.
Yeah, okay, items up, go ahead, sir.
For the record, Stephen Laredo, with Circle K.
All right.
My last name is
Laredo,
Laredo.
there you go, there you go.
Yes, I'd like to thank the city council for the time today and the opportunity to speak and, obviously share my support for the rezone. The specific site is on the southwest corner of Los Presidentes in the future Concord Hills. It's a platted, hard corner, 1.3 acres, with, curve cuts and paved aprons in place already. Prior to my time at Circle K, I was a real estate appraiser in San Antonio. And this site, highest and best use is obviously for a commercial use. It is, anchors the new Los Presidentes subdivision, which will bring, hundreds of new homes to Laredo that, will need a safe and convenient place to purchase fuel and Polar Pops. I do hear your concern, and, we will, see what we can do, redesign anything to meet that 100-foot minimum requirement if, that ordinance were to go into effect prior to us applying for our building permit. Just, at a high level, Laredo is a focus market for Circle K. We enjoy operating our stores in Laredo. We enjoy developing in Laredo. To date, along with the proposed rezoning site, me and my colleagues have approval of upwards of $30 million to deploy in Laredo for new stores. Soon you'll be able to see what a brand new Circle K looks like. They look very different than the Circle Ks are open currently today on the southeast corner of Lomas del Sur and Ejido Avenue. It's under construction right now. It'll be open at the end of April. Very excited about that. I've seen the thoroughfare plans for Laredo. I've seen the vision that you guys are creating for the city 10 years down the line. It makes me very excited to continue to pursue sites and new developments in Laredo. Additionally, with these new stores, the tax revenue that these stores generate is substantial, along with the local residents that we employ, averaging around 7 to 9 employees per store. So yeah, I'd just like to close out by reiterating that we'd like to make sure that the citizens of Laredo continue to have a clean and safe option when they are when it comes to fuel and convenience. So thank you.
Thank you.
So, are your plans, I'll just one last question. Are your plans already set as to, because this does require underground storage tanks?
Correct.
For this material, and I was told, just to make clear, that it's a closed system, so when there isn't continuous venting that's going on with these tanks, that when gas goes into the cars, the fumes are contained in the tank, and then when the tank is refilled, your system allows those fumes to go back into the truck that's actually filling with the new gas. So it isn't as if there is a continuous release of emissions going on, right? But it's more, in my consideration, it's more a safety issue, so that if anything were to happen at that ventilation point, or at that point where they're refilling the gas, that having that type of buffer zone would allow for remediation, that it's a safety issue for the people who live abutting that station. And in this particular location, there are residential homes that are planned for there.
Yeah, understood. Yes, and again, Circle K, we have, operate thousands of stores across the United States. We have an entire environmental department that solely focuses on tanks,
noxious odors, anything that, you know, could have Circle K liable for anything that you just mentioned, of that kind. So, yeah.
Do you think that you would be willing to comply with that buffer zone if, and again, we don't know yet if it'll be passed, but it is under consideration?
Yes, yeah, we would comply, you know, obviously if that goes into effect prior to us applying for our building permit. Yeah, we spent, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but multiple tens of thousands of dollars on this site so far, specifically on civil design, on, you know, just attorney's fees, legal costs, while we're under contract on that property currently today.
And I guess this brings up another question. So why does the zone change come after the development instead of requesting the zone change before you know if council is going to pass it?
We will need the zone change prior to being able to apply for permits. And it's also, you know, kind of Circle K process. My ability to purchase the property is contingent on having that appropriate zoning in place at the time of closing.
Go ahead.
I think the question is, why, because you've already purchased the property.
Not yet, no.
But you've spent tens of thousands of dollars on
Site design, you know, due diligence costs.
Okay, so you have not purchased the property?
No, sir.
Oh.
If I can?
Go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm looking at a map of the location. I do see that there's platting for, it looks like residential right along the edge, one of the edges. But there are two main roadways on two of the edges, and then there's undeveloped land on one of them. So is there a way that you can accommodate the concerns of the councilwoman as far as like the venting goes and all that off to one of the street like locations instead of where the neighborhood is? And then I have a question for planning and zoning, real quick, if I'm gonna ask the director. Hey, Ms. Guerra. You see this a lot, right? Okay, so how the 100 feet buffer amendment that was proposed, how would that impact this property line right here where the houses are?
Yeah, I was talking about this with the environmental director a bit ago, and what they would need to do is probably move it such that the injection point for the tank meets that 100 foot. So you'd probably want to push it closer to the street so that you'd have the street, the right of way width, to accommodate that more of that 100 foot buffer.
And the 100 feet is how much is that? I mean, because normally we deal with 500 feet, which I do know. What's the width of a street?
A local street is 50.
50?
Yeah.
So it'd be two streets.
Just a regular plain Jane, the street in front of your house is 50. A 50-foot right of way.
So it'd be like a collector or half a collector?
Yeah, collectors go from 60 to 80, just depending on how big they are.
Okay, because that's kind of a big.
So these are minor arterials.
Yeah.
So I want to say this is 100. Avenida Los Presentes is 100.
So would you be able to accommodate? Okay, thank you, Ms. Guerra. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Laredo?
Yes.
Would you be able to accommodate that venting off to one of the streets, or would that not work for you?
I cannot answer that at this moment. I would need to get back with my civil engineer and design the system.
So right now, you haven't built anything yet. You don't have the schematics of how, or the plans of how it's gonna look, or where's your injection's gonna be, your tanks.
Not at this time.
You don't have them that yet.
You're
Right now, you're just doing you still have time to move or to construct it in a different way. So it won't affect the people or the residents behind it, or have a buffer zone. Am I correct?
Yeah.
We're still in time. You're still in time, right?
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically.
With the tank, I guess I'm not knowledgeable enough with, the civil side and the fuel system design as to exactly where the ventilation point works.
But right now, you don't have a ventilation point like for concrete, say, it's gonna be on the left side Or it's gonna be on the right side, or it's gonna be closer to the,
No,
to the
sir,
street?
not right now. I have my tank placement right now, but not the ventilation point.
Do you have your tank, what's your tank
The
placement?
tank,
And
the
do you
tank
have-
placement is along the frontage of Los Presidentes.
So it's the frontage of the, I don't have a map. So it's the frontage of Los Presidentes.
Yes, it's kind of tricky. It's kind of,
Where's the wall? Yeah.
it's kind of a tighter site, 1.3 acres. So when we have our fuel trucks that come and dump
Yeah.
fuel into the tanks, they have to unload on the passenger side. So that kind of limits, because we need to,
Oh, the
we
reservoir.
need to design the truck to be able to route
So
through
that
the
they go through
site
here.
and be able to
They're most
get to the
probably-
tanks on the passenger side
Yeah, but they're gonna go through here.
without having them go in front of the store and stop right in front of the store in order to dump the
I
fuel.
think they already have that.
So that kind of is,
Go ahead.
So so again, this is an R1 zone. And right across the street from it is a B3 zone. So how is it that you're studying an R1 zone and not a B3 zone? How are you studying land that is zoned R1 versus studying land that has already received a B3 designation?
we didn't fit on the B3 designation land, and they wouldn't separate because it's already platted. So they carved out just 1 acre, and they only wanted to sell that 1 acre, which I don't fit on, but I fit on the 1.3 acres on the south side.
But it's still an R1.
Okay.
So that is the hesitation that it is R1, but we don't know yet if the venting will be prevented. Could I actually, is it all right if we ask our Environmental Services Director to comment? I don't know if he wants to. And sir, it's just because when we set out these zoning, people have an expectation when they're buying homes, if they're buying homes next to an R1, that is who their neighbor will be. And so when we're talking about changing zones, I just want us to be very careful and weigh those decisions carefully.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hello, Bishop Wagner, Environmental Services Director.
When we're considering the buffer zone for the venting of these tanks, what is the public health issue we're trying to get at with that buffer zone?
So, particularly when you're dealing with hydrocarbons, it is not the aerosolization of the or the fumes they're typically contained within the systems that they use for collection and transportation. What you want a buffer for is really for any kind of release that would happen in the subsurface. And the reason that you want the buffer is so that if there's fuel that would leak into the soil, it gives you enough time, it slows that transportation to where you're able to remediate that, get that soil out. They can place wells to monitor to make sure that material doesn't move off of the site, and then replace the soils if need be in that area. As far as the fumes and the smell of gas, it is really de minimis in its negative health effect in these kind of scales. Now, when you get to large petroleum refining facilities, then things tend to be a little bit different and they're regulated a lot harsher. But in my opinion, the 100-foot buffer would really work well to be able to slow down and capture any potential release transportation that would happen in the subsurface.
So, do you know if you have a 100-foot buffer there on this piece of land?
in between the tanks where they're shown currently to the property line of the, I do not know, we're probably pretty close to that 100. Pretty confident we are. We need it, Circle K needs at least like 250 feet to lay out our traditional offering, which is what we're showing today. So I would imagine, but I don't want to say, fully 100% yes, but probably.
And can you assure this council that you can meet that 100-foot requirement? Or would you like a couple of extra weeks and wait until one more round if we're able to?
I know that our site is deeper than 100 feet, so I can
pretty confidently say that where we are now, our tanks where they are now, is 100 feet away from the southern property line. I can't say for sure about the western property line, which also abuts the.
Homes planned there.
Yeah.
Can we do a conditional approval on a zone change based on an assurance on a future plat request?
We can't do contract zoning. I think we
Can't do that.
come across that before where you condition the approval based on, a development promise.
Well, Zone, why don't you step in and stop her questioning?
I thought we were gonna go a different direction.
No, I mean, she's going down the conditional approval route.
Yes, then, what recommendations do you have? Sorry.
That's the thing is, the tabling it.
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem, our recommendation is to go ahead and approve this already as it is. The customers is indicating that the property line is further than 100 feet, so we recommend approval. If you choose to table this, then what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna have to start over. And so we recommend approval.
I have a question for Ms. Guerra. Ms. Guerra, at the original, planning commission, did we have any opposition from the R1, residents around?
No.
No?
No, not at all. We sent out several letters to the surrounding property owners, and we had none in favor and none against. And the planning and zoning voted 7-0. They were unanimous.
All right, so then I guess it's all pointing to one direction with the recommendation of the.
Mayor Pro Temp, if I may real quick, this is a public hearing and introductory ordinance, so it will still have to come back, for final.
Very true. So a motion to close it and then introduce?
Second.
And there's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion to approve.
Are you actually, is your last name actually Laredo?
Yes.
Oh.
With an LOR. Yeah.
Do you change it for every city you go to?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one of your things, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be Stephen McAllen next
Yeah,
week.
right.
Yeah.
San Antonio next week.
Thank you, Councilor.
Mayor, number 13, Mayor.
Number 13, for or against, for or against, for or against.
Motion to close and introduce.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. 14, for or against, for or against, for or against.
Motion to close and introduce.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye. Against, motion passes.
Council to introduce number 15, no motion necessary. Motion to approve the final reading of ordinances 16 through 32, excluding number 19, because it was already approved.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor, if you'll indulge me, I'd ask and request motion to extend the meeting to 11 p.m.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Staff, is there anything on the consent agenda that is time sensitive? Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion second, all in favor?
Mayor,
Aye.
Mayor, we need to amend one item on the consent agenda.
Which one?
Number 43.
Number 43.
43, all right, with exception 43.
Pull out 43,
Yes. All right. Motion?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Mayor, for number 43,
Right.
the amendment will read after $818,089.77 with big truck rental using Omnia Partners Cooperative Contract 2019-000319. That's the amendment. Motion to approve it.
Second, but Mayor, just a point.
Go ahead.
No, can we make all that amendment to it if it wasn't posted that way? That's a big amendment.
What was the amendment again? Sorry.
With big truck rental using Omnia Partners Cooperative Contract. Write the contract number.
Because we're circumventing the public notice if we're making these big adjustments.
But it's a cooperative agreement, so it's gonna be.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, motion second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor, motion to go into executive session.
Mayor,
number 50,
Mayor.
51.
Hold on.
Mayor, can we bring back number 45?
Number 45, motion,
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number 45. Is there a question on that?
Where's, okay. We're good? 45, consideration to select or negotiate RFQ 2026-006 professional consolidating services contract with the top score, I don't know if I'm saying this, Carl Energy Incorporated Dallas Engineers, City Surfaces Water and Treatment Plants. The assessment will evaluate the performance, efficiency, and condition of the Jefferson Street and El Pico water treatment plants with a focus on filter assessment process, optimization, reliability, and long-term capital planning. The department, the contract, I'm getting old, is for 1 year, and is contingent upon annual budgets of, okay, but I'm reading already, so appropriation of the firms, the response to RFQs and their scores were. So, Dr. Charek, why is it, Carl Engineering, what's the difference? I've never seen this, and I'm gonna be this, I ask you, what's the scoring, what's that scoring 1, scoring 2? Can you explain to us?
So scoring 1 to 4 is the classes where each engineering firm ranked according to the criteria that was set originally in the RFQ, which is detailed in the procurement department specifics for different things like expertise, knowledge, engineering capacity, and all of that. So all of these ones, there actually there is more details in the original submission that is done by the experts in the department.
So are you asking to change right now?
No, we're done. We're going with the first RFQ based, selecting Carollo engineers to.
But a
start
Corolla, was it already there, or are we changing?
No, it was already there.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Real quick, so it's my understanding that, we have not had a boil water notice in all of 2025, correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
And whose company were we under for that?
It's not with any company for that. It's really the department, the distribution team, working with the plant team, so it's directly.
We were not consulting with a company to help us with our.
I mean, we have engineering firms for different reasons. We have people to do technical work.
Which of these partners were we working with
We had Garver, we had Ardora already for different pieces of our business.
And it's because it's my understanding that when we've had boil water notices in the past, that these two companies that are 1 and 2 were responsible for some of the work that was being done at the city during that time.
Correct.
So this goes back to what I've been saying as far as dinging past companies. And so my understanding is that we've also been working with Ardura.
Yep.
Right? And so I'm just curious to know how it is that you came up with these things, and did we ding companies that were with us during the boil water notice times?
So Councilor, first thing, the Water Board Advisory, the support from Ardora, I think he's here today, was focused on helping us to do the inspection and passing the TCEQ issues related to our distribution system. This is a very niche and very unique work that is related to our plants in terms of calibration of our filters, of our treatment capacity, of our clarifiers. We've had the first bidder, again, we're in RFQ yet, is an authority in that space. They have their own research center across the U.S. They are the one every city probably goes to for advice. So we're bringing the top best company based on the technical evaluation that we have. Now, it doesn't diminish Ardora or others who are working with us in different capacity, but we're trying to bring the best to get the job done.
So, Mayor, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
So, I did some research, and I've been, boil water notice 2016 was, we had, how do you say, Corolla?
2016?
2016. What's the name of the company we're getting right now? That we're trying to get?
I'm sorry.
The company that we're trying to get right now, what's?
Corolla.
Corolla, okay. So we had a boil notice in 2016, another one in 2017. another one in 2019, and another one in 2020, and another in 2021. So
They're not the same company. They were not there, I think, for all of that period. I think they've probably been a piece of the 60. You can ask him. But for the rest, it wasn't Mr. Nacho, because he's been here and knows the history of that.
Oh, Mr.
Yeah,
Novosa, do you have the information? Or you're asking?
I'm just, because he's been here longer than I am, so he would know, but I want
So we should have him.
you might ask him if you want.
No, pues, I'm asking
I
you.
I wasn't here in 2016, Councilor, but I will tell you right now, everything related to the water boil advisory was not.
Did we have a boil water notice on 2024?
Yes,
Or
but
2025,
it
I'm sorry.
wasn't related to the.
2025.
Yes, but it wasn't related to the plants. The plants are not related to the water boil advisory. It was related to contamination in the distribution system because of certain breakthrough and E. coli into that distribution system. This project is to do with our plants because right now we don't have support to deal with efficiencies, improvement, and ensuring that our carbon filters, the odor and taste that all of us of you sensed last summer, are very serious issues due to blue and green-blue algae, and we need subject matter experts that are niche to that job. Again, I want to clarify, these were selected based on technical reviews, and therefore that's why we're here today, to nominate those.
Just don't feel comfortable.
Yes, go ahead.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion, second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor.
Yes. Okay, one against.
Mayor, motion to go to executive session number 50, 51, and 52.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Yeah.
And 65.
To add those as well for executive session.
54 and 65. Motion, second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes. Executive session.
And sorry, just for the record, that'd be for consultation with attorneys and real estate matters and litigation.
As amended.
All right. Second. Back to executive session, no action was taken.
Mayor, for number 51, just a motion for staff to proceed as recommended.
Second
Motion, second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes.
For number 52, for staff to proceed as directed.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes.
For number 50, no action was taken. And then, what else did we go? What else did we go through? We just did those
Which one are
three.
we missing?
51, 52.
That's all we did, right? We didn't go to anyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just use the rest of them for the next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
just a motion for the rest of them to continue with the next
This
meeting.
motion, I'm just gonna do 62. Move up item 62, just a quick one.
All right, go ahead, 62.
Is there a second?
Second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes.
Thank you.
62.
This is an item we brought back a few months ago, to create a public finance zone, designation, through the state of Texas. We've been in contact with, Senator Zaffarini's, office on this, and basically this is a way to create a 3-mile radius, around Sames Auto Arena, because that's the only place we have in Laredo that qualifies for the state designation. It has to be Sames Auto Arena because we don't have a convention center at this time, but it would allow us to keep some of the sales tax that we send to the state in this 3-mile radius. And so what we need to make it happen, a few things, is a resolution from the city that we support the idea, a resolution from Webb County Commissioners Court that they support the idea. I've already been in contact with some of them. And then all three, the 2 state reps, the state senator need to support it, which Senator Zaffarini said she does, so we're just, pending everybody's approval, but also an economic impact study on what this could do. So we need to go out for an RFQ for an economic impact study on what it would cost, or what it would bring to the city if we were able to get this PFC designation, which to go towards a future convention center or expansion of the Sames Auto Arena into a convention center.
Second. Motion and second.
Mayor, Matt?
Go ahead.
And just a clarification, Councilmember King, and if you have something to contribute, I'll direct it to management, but would this type of resolution and this discussion be tied to our convention center discussion? And is that an upcoming workshop so that when we're discussing the convention center, then we can wrap this financing mechanism to it?
Mayor, if I may-
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for co-sponsoring, Mayor. And the thing is, Senator Zaffarini says she would love to introduce this into legislation in January of 2027. If we can get all our pieces, ducks in a row over this next year. So it's obviously, and it's still to be determined whether or not the state legislature would approve it, but of course, if it's coming from her, that obviously will help. But nonetheless, obviously, that's still to be determined, but I think it'd be important to include it in hopeful discussions, but I think with the, any new convention center items that we have coming up, we can't guarantee that this PFZ will get approved, so. yeah.
Okay, is that your motion?
Wait.
Yes, sir, it was
sorry.
seconded already.
Do you have a second?
And
Yes,
Mayor,
sir.
well, I just have, and so location, is it still for discussion or?
It's because this specific PFZ, as of now, and this could change, but as of now, basically the only entity in Laredo that exists currently that would qualify for the center of the radius is Sames Auto Arena.
All right,
So,
we have motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor, time-sensitive item. I'd like to motion to recess as the Laredo City Council and convene as the Laredo Mass Transit Board.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes.
Motion to approve number 53.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes.
Motion to adjourn as the Laredo Mass Transit Board and reconvene as the Laredo City Council.
Motion and second, all in favor? Opposed, motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
Keep all the items for next
Oh,
council.
keep all items before it comes to the next executive item.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Motion to adjourn, Mayor.
Motion to adjourn, meeting adjourned.